I would just.
I didn't buy them in high school when I did do it because I'd buy cigarettes anyways.
That's what I did, and then I got a car for my first time, and a girl got my car. She was like, "Ew, you smoke cigarettes?"
Oh, I didn't smoke.
And I
in my
never
car.
smoked another cigarette again.
My mom would check if she'd find my cigarette.
I can smell people's houses that smoke. Like when you walk up to the door, you're like, "This is pungent,
door
bro."
knocking, you can literally, you can straight smell
though.
it, or you see like the 100 cigarette butts outside.
I have Russian cream backwood wrap.
Cigarettes are gonna fucking kill you, kids.
Oh no, I don't fuck with.
Hey guys, welcome home,
That shit's whack.
you beautiful motherfuckers.
I
got game.
This is finding home where
I got a game.
Oh, bro, I roll a game.
we're just a couple of friends talking about stuff all the time.
Are we on air?
It gets weird.
Yo!
All right, and here we go. Okay, where were we? Talking about a lot of things. Oh, how our new little puppy Honey here is just a natural little service dog. She's beautiful and she's sweet and she's kind. She wants to lick your mouth. We love her. All right, today.
Seth.
Oh,
Super sus.
sus. Oh god.
Very sus.
Hey guys, you gotta get
Sus, we're gonna set up a lick your mouth play date for you and the dog.
He likes to give kisses, man. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm Seth Gorman.
We're talking about pimping
What's up, guys?
out
I'm
today.
Diego.
Annalise.
My name's Nick.
No, it's not.
And today,
It's
we have our
actually-
special
it's
guest
actually
here.
Roger.
Introduce yourself.
Special
Sir.
guest,
Roger.
Troy.
You have a last name?
That's it.
It's like a
just
Super
Troy.
Smash
Troy.
opening.
Stay on,
Special guest.
Stay on the deal.
I go by Troy.
Troy.
Just Troy the man.
Troy, what are your hobbies?
Oh, I wish
My
you could
hobbies
guess
include
mine.
anime, making money,
Alright.
Hustler.
and spending time with my family.
Those are beautiful three
Family
things,
man.
sir.
I think he's gonna cry.
Family's important, man.
No.
It's important to have
Family's
family.
very important.
It's
That's
important to
very
have
true.
family because it's important to trust people.
That's all you got is
You can
family.
hope you can trust your family. Some people can't.
Good family, less violent
It's a wild
crimes.
place.
So it's a damn shame we didn't get the webcam running for this episode.
I know. We
It's
almost
coming.
got it.
Lucky for our viewers.
It's
They don't have to look at us.
When we get
So
it
they don't
going,
have to look at
It's
it.
definitely going to add flair. Yeah, that's for sure.
Did not prepare for that.
Put a face to the voice. Want to get the bowl?
As we
Just
I got it.
Yeah.
Can I pick out of the bowl this time?
If you'd like to. Yes, everybody.
Actually,
everybody
no.
gets a
The
turn.
guest has to pick out of the bowl.
Well, if you keep letting the guest pick out of the bowl, does he really want to? Are you feeling it? Do you want to pick out of the bowl?
No, I don't give a
Are you
fuck.
feeling magical?
He has
It doesn't
to.
matter
He has
to me.
to.
He has to. He's the guest.
Why
You
I'm
decide
mixing
what we
it
talk about.
You gotta look away though.
Yeah, you
can't
can't
look.
look.
You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta
Hand
spin it
out.
around in the bowl too.
Hand out.
virtual bowl.
Destiny's got to pick.
Well, what do you mean? It's right behind you.
A virtual bowl for the viewers.
Don't look
Oh,
at it.
no,
Just
what
pick
do you
one
mean?
out.
It's a real
Just
bowl.
pick
Hey,
one out.
okay.
Thanks
Or
on the paper.
hand-eye coordination,
Pick
but
one
like not
paper.
really.
There you go.
Okay.
Hold on, no, we did that one.
God damn.
All right.
Second one's back in there.
God
Okay,
damn.
here we go.
Viewers. You can't put them back in the bowl.
Whoops. That's not supposed to happen.
Self-destruction and doubt.
Hilarious.
We're going sad
We're
this
going
Yeah,
dark,
we're
boys.
crying in this one.
We're
There's a-
crying in
I
this.
think I should leave.
Everything just like led to this one moment.
Hey, but I believe there's a positive at the end of this, so
You
we'll,
want
fig-
this?
we'll figure it out.
Everything happens for a reason.
Thank you.
Self-destruction
And
and doubt.
Okay.
Are we pulling ourselves out of it every day in different ways?
Pulling ourselves out of self-destruction.
What kind of self-destruction now? Because there's like
There's like minuscule aspects of it in every day that could destruct parts of your day, but like there's an overall type of self-destruction too.
Well,
There's so many sides to self-destruction.
there's a
here.
line. There's a fine line between creation and destruction.
Yes.
Because like it's really just perception. So like, if you're doing something, there's different kinds of self-destruction. There's like a physical self-destruction where if like you intake certain things from your environment, your physical body starts to break down.
Yeah. Don't move to Pittsburgh. You're
Uh,
fucked.
I agree. I'm from a small town too, and I went back there last week, and you look at people,
Disgusting.
you're like, these people are just deteriorating.
Listen.
I don't know what's happening. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro?
Is it a look? Is it the way they talk?
It's just everything
It's the
about
energy,
them.
bro.
It's
It's
the
the
energy.
energy.
It's the energy. The way that they
Like,
converse with you, just everything
There's just
about it.
dementors and
air.
shit flying around.
It's like they don't
sucking
think
people's
about
souls
what
out.
they're doing.
Annalise.
It's like they're not
and,
conscious.
And when I said that to my mom, it's
New
like,
York and the miserable people
in
New York.
comparison to Colorado, you see people out here doing shit, you know? You get motivation from
What are you
people.
talking about?
You
What
get
about
motivation
Grand
from...
Junction.
People are awake and
Junction.
I don't
alive
know about
rather than
Grand
like
Junction.
slowly
Really?
dying.
Okay, yeah, fuck Greeley and Loveland. But if you're in Fort
Jesus.
Collins, Colorado, you get
No wonder he's
motivation.
not giving his last name.
Man came here to talk shit.
Yeah, that's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
The universe said no camera for you, bro. You cannot get.
I feel like this ties into self-destruction and doubt a little bit, so let's keep going.
Oh yeah, we're playing the part.
We're literally just a realm of devil's advocates here.
We're playing the part.
Sometimes it's okay to destroy
They
yourself,
don't
bro.
understand. They don't understand.
So Annalise,
Nick.
Pittsburgh and places like New York City that you've experienced. I was gonna say,
Okay.
I said it as a joke first, but I feel like places where there's bad air and there's not a lot of sun, it's just a setup. You set yourself up for like not being a happy person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
The
I lived
vibe-
in Gainesville,
Your
Florida
environment
too,
is
and that was
automatically
bad.
like
But the
not meant
vibe-
for.
The vibe in New York City wasn't like people don't really give a fuck about the air or dirt, like nothing
That's
like
what I'm
that.
saying.
It's the people. The vibe in New York is just that everything is rushed. Everything has to be fast paced, go 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 go. So I think everyone there is just hella stressed out because they don't get like half a second breath. Everything is just like go 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 go. So I think their thing is just they're constantly packed with.
I think
shit.
it's
And they're grumpy.
it's tribal evolution. It's
There
like
you
this
go.
tribal evolution because we came from these small tribal settings, and then we just grew more and more people, but we still have a tribal mindset built in, even though we're just en masse.
Honestly, I don't fuck with Colorado's energy, to be honest. I love New York. I've been to New York and I would enjoy being in a place where there's something to do, there's something going on.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
when I
New
was
York's
in New York,
great.
there was so like you get into some shit every single day and it was just amazing.
Yeah, New York's
just
great.
something new every day and I enjoy that environment. I just fucking hate the subway. So.
And food in New York, any type of food you're thinking about, whether it's based off a TV show or an anime, like it doesn't matter. They have something for
the
everything.
bodegas
How
are
long have
fire
you
on
been
the
here,
corner for like 6 years.
So, but when it's not COVID, what people tell me is there's music in towns like Denver.
Right,
here.
but it's right there is, but
Every weekend.
Every weekend, and then there's a lot of like folk music and boring stuff, and people just come here to hike and like, you know what I'm saying? It's not really the environment
Feel
that I'm
personally
looking for.
attacked.
What do you
would-
mean?
Why wouldn't
I
you
just
come
came here
here?
to hike,
That's
dude.
for you-
No,
not for
I'm
you.
just kidding.
If
I
you
feel like
enjoy,
that's-
my parents came here to hike. That's literally why they moved here and why we came here, and to camp and shit like that. But personally, me, I would rather be in the city. You know.
Have you
doing
lived
shit.
in the city a lot of your life or no?
No, I have.
So
That's
yeah,
why.
that's why. Yeah, you're
But
the
I've
opposite
been
of
to
us.
this. But I've been to the city a lot, and I lived
Different.
in Chicago. When
You're
I
an
was a
urban
kid.
dweller,
You're
my
a-
friend.
You need to go to a club, you know, do cocaine,
See,
dance with the
see, but
devil.
the- There's
I've
people
done
who-
quite a few things, bro.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I know, but you know what I'm
Take
saying.
you to
I
Miami. We'll
understand.
show you how bad it is. You'll be right back.
There's some people that just don't enjoy nature.
No, I
like, there's people that
appreciate-
are built
100%,
for
that's
cities.
okay.
and they
No,
like
I
it better.
appreciate Colorado, and I truly love this state, and I would love to move here when I'm 30 with my
Which
children
one?
because it's a great place to live.
Yeah.
And the schools are amazing, and people here are very great. But me personally, at the moment that I'm in right now, I
Yeah.
would love the energy here. For me personally, is not great. Like, I'm trying to be
I don't
doing
want to
stuff,
dash.
dude. Have stuff going on all the time, and
Yeah.
living in a place like this, and going back to the small towns that we were talking about, how people deteriorate. It's the same thing. There's just nothing to do, and they're doing the same thing every single day. And that shit is just ass, and it makes them deteriorate and feel terrible.
But what if?
Let me
but
ask
what
you a
if-
question. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like, okay, they repeat the same pattern every day, and that's like a cause of their self-destruction. Well, what about people who pre-make their meals and go exercise and drink lots of water and are healthy and fit and they look good? They're doing that same repetition every single day, every single day, every single day.
bettering themselves.
And is that same pattern doing that exact same thing in the name of good health? Is that self-destructive?
Negative. as long as you're spending time for your free time and enjoying yourself and know what you're doing, being healthy. There's
what I'm saying
no
is the
problem
people that
about
don't.
being healthy.
Like, you're right, but the people that don't see that and don't, and like they still take that self-destructive path on the pursuit of good health, like.
I know what you're saying.
Is that self-destruction?
It is. You can pursue health in a way that it's self-destructive, where you won't allow yourself to eat that meal with your family, you know, or.
But those types of people are the
get
people
that
that
piece
win
of
the
cake.
Olympics.
They
Like-
are, but honestly, like, you have one life, and you know you should.
It depends how you want to be remembered,
Right.
Like,
True.
Or
The
if
people
you
who
wanna
win
be
the
remembered.
Olympics.
If
I guess
you wanna
are
be
good.
remembered.
There's
Some people don't give a fuck.
But
Yeah.
if it's just some people who are truly so self-conscious that they won't do something like that, I think that's just a waste of time, and you're just wasting your life. Because you only got one of them, and then you're done, and there's nothing else.
As this body.
Well, dude, I mean,
and that's the real question. People create religions and hopes, religions to give them hopes of like that there is something beyond this. And
Exactly, and people who want to hope so bad, they just hope so bad, but it's really just false, and they're scared. That's why.
you ever think those religions were made by people who wanted to be recognized themselves?
No, I think the religions were made by people who wanted to hold other people down. The Bible is like, don't steal, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And it's really, think about all that shit. It's all the shit that the government doesn't want you to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, you people go ahead and follow all these rules, even though no one follows them at all. And people sin every single day 1,000,000 times, and even though they believe in God.
there's a beautiful thing about people who just
I don't
live
fuck with
purely
that.
on hope, though.
Would you like to?
Like if their hope and faith never wavers. I never wavers
Never.
if they're just like,
Which is
I
good.
fully fucking believe this. Like, those people in a way have a strength. Like that's like berserker like strength, because like if someone isn't going to budge from where they are and they're not going to, there's nothing you're gonna fucking do to change their mind. Like,
But that's fine. I 100% stand behind people
Yeah.
having faith.
and people like
in
that
God.
have caused incredible amounts of
Success.
strife,
Yeah.
success, but strife and negativity. But there's also people who have that same mindset who go to create incredible things and change the
100%.
change the world in a positive
And there's
way.
other people who go to prison and they can find the truth. They can learn how to be a kinder person because of God. And so, just because I don't believe in God doesn't mean that I hate on anybody.
It's just-
who
I-
does
I
and
think
betters
it's just
himself
something
because
to-
of it.
I just think it's something to hope for. Like
That's what I'm saying.
they just give it a persona, and now that someone else has already created this persona, it's easier to
I-
follow something that a lot more people are already.
That's
following,
how I see the
that
cult.
you already kind of feel.
That's how I
His
see-
perception
yeah,
of
yeah,
God
yeah.
is different.
So like people they had to figure out ways to bring communities together so people could have purpose. So like presenting like a God and doing good things helped people find purpose when things
Right.
were more like caveman like, and we were coming out of that. That's also why we did that. There's a lot of other reasons besides than hope and faith, I think.
Yeah.
But do I think it's bad all around? No, I think it's like anything, it's balance, you know?
Right.
There's those files that came out a couple years ago about 70 years back about pedophile acts in the church, which is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the church has also saved people's lives. So like there's literally like the scum of the earth to like it helping people.
But you know what
But
I
it's-
absolutely hate about it? And we're getting so off topic just talking about God, but I'll talk about God for
We're talking
a
about
long time.
How
self-destruction.
do you-
Religion
how-
counts, dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's literally okay.
Don't even.
But
I'm
this
not.
is what I really
I'm not
hate. This is
doubting
what
the
I really
negative.
hate about it. The people who only have this one life and restrict themselves based upon it. Like there's been people in history who have starved themselves for God for nothing. Like there have been people who have done so many crazy things for God.
Self-satisfaction. Self-satisfaction.
It's just bullshit, dude. And then people who try and preach God on you, like Planned Parenthood or women's rights or things, saying that abortions aren't right and stuff like that. That type of shit is the stuff that pisses me off the most.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that's
it's your
why,
life.
and that's why I feel a bit ill towards it
Mm-hmm.
because of that type of stuff. I really dislike that kind of stuff.
But like you got to think when you think of the martyrs who sacrificed themselves in the name of religion, like in the grand scheme of things, they may be missing the point, but at the same time, like the path that they're on has led them to such a profound feeling that feeling has led them to make profound gestures.
It's enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough for the world to see who they are and what they stand for. And like anything that you believe in, if you believe it with that kind of conviction, like you will make a lasting impact. It may not be in the way that you want it, and it may not be in the way other people want it, but it's something to witness. And for some people, that's enough. For some people, that's their mission, is to go out with such honor of a profound gesture that they believe is honorable. And we can't truly say that is wrong. We may not agree, and we don't have to live that path, but there's an appreciation for every life in that way, because if you can see each life through a poetic lens a little bit and get that each path is its own and each ending is its own story, no matter how long or how short, and you can't have the ability to read every single book, but take the time for the people that are around you and the people that go down around you, the people that rise around you, and listen to their story. Find out what they have to say.
Yeah,
because it can teach you to live better.
Mm-hmm.
Aspects of it, yeah, you don't have to fully agree with the way someone lives to find good aspects that you enjoy about it.
Dropped all the weed right on the floor.
Oh my goodness. That was crazy.
That's
I watched
wild.
that in real time.
Me too, it just went.
Yeah.
It was like a cloud, bro. It just went.
But nothing truly matters, and we're all gonna die. And one day we're gonna blink.
Anyways, back to it.
One day we're gonna blink,
fucking
and
selfish.
we're gonna be fucking.
You're a piece of
60,
shit out there.
And then we're just done, and there's nothing else. You're just like, God.
Okay, back to.
God, this shit sucks.
But is this why we should follow our passion?
And that's why I smoke Kush, because I'll be like 60 and I'll be getting high. I'll be like, God damn these grandkids, I'm getting high.
There you go. Good Lord.
But is that the reason why we should chase it? Because it's
So that we
meaningless
can get
and
high.
it's easy to get. No.
Chase what? Chase
Like
life?
what? Yeah, chase life what you want it to be, because it is meaningless. So you might as well make the most of it.
Well, don't chase life. Just learn
For
to
sure.
live.
I
That's not what
totally
mean.
100%.
Like chase, go
yes.
after what you want. Chasing is like playing hooky,
Because
but
you
like
only have one life.
planning it out and chasing and like going after it.
For
is
sure.
better.
The thing is, like, my life itself
Going
is
after
meaningless, but like you have to be the one to give it meaning.
Yeah.
Is the whole
Exactly,
point.
and that's why it's beautiful.
It's
Right.
like playing
If it was
Sims.
someone else's destiny, it'd be fucking shit.
For real.
Think of your life as a game of Sims, but you're the Sims character. It's like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Life
We
Like,
live in a simulation.
That's why we're living
so
it. We're not
makes
playing it.
sense.
Life is fucking
Yeah.
sacrifice. You can't get anything in this whole world without sacrifice. And the more you sacrifice, the more you'll gain, for sure.
I mean, yeah.
Should we put this out right here?
I think it depends.
I feel like if you consider
sacrifice is an interesting thing.
if you consider it sacrifice and you consider it something like
Meaningful to you.
Yep. Agreed.
So you
something
sacrifice your
something
time.
you're attached to, not something you find like yes it's meaningful, but something like you are like there's something you have a connection with.
Right.
Is self-destruction and doubt, are they both sacrifices?
Doubt is more of a
Hmm.
negative.
Is doubt a
negative
sacrifice? Is
feeling.
self-destruction a sacrifice?
No. I wouldn't say that it's a
Self-destruction
sacrifice.
is sacrifice.
Wouldn't say that doubt is a sacrifice.
No.
Like, what do you? What?
I think
okay,
self-destruction-
I
if
think
you
that
are-
doubt
if you are,
can be
it
a
involves
cause of
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
If you are in doubt, what are you sacrificing?
That's what I'm saying.
You're-
Doubt can be intertwined with sacrifice, but it isn't classified as sacrifice itself. Like if you
I
doubt
understand what
something,
you're saying though.
Yeah.
If you're in doubt,
You pick it up and put it down.
What are you sacrificing? Because like, with that doubt, what is being sacrificed?
right?
Yeah.
So like, if you can describe it that way, then technically you can describe doubt as a sacrifice.
Yeah, doubt is pretty fucked up. Doubt really falls into anxiety, I would say. Just anxiety
yeah.
about shit, you know, like whenever you get anxiety about something, that's the doubt right there. You're like, I don't know about this, I don't know about this. You know, it's all intertwined. And really, you can
It's
just look at
overthinking.
yourself at a third person perspective.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you in the gym, and be like, this isn't real, you know, this is all bullshit that my
Doubt-
mind is conjuring, and I can do this.
To
and
me-
I can do anything I put my mind to, you know?
For sure.
I think doubt is literally so like. Have you ever seen that thing or heard about the thing where like you could take 100 pictures and you think they all look super great, but then you just keep looking at them for an extended period of time,
They get worse.
and they just get worse and worse, and you're like, oh my god, this is ugly, and you delete every single
sure,
one of them.
yeah.
To me, that's what doubt is.
Yeah.
It's literally like you had this idea of something you did or said, but then you just overthink it and you think on it so much to the point where it slowly turns like scary to you. and then you're like, okay, now this is doubt. Now I'm doubting that whole thing I just did because I decided to overthink it. So that's how I view doubt. That was a good.
So what's the proper way
doubt,
to be then?
To avoid
Just to
doubt,
flow with
though, isn't like this magical thing. I think it's everyone has a thing they need to do to prepare themselves for the day, so they're not all over the place. Because if your day's all over the place, you're doubtful about your next move.
I wouldn't say float, just float through it.
I said flow.
You
or
have to
flow through
like,
it. I
do
would say
things
with making
that are
decisions, obviously you're gonna think about them,
Yeah.
but don't do it to the point
Who
where
thinks
you
about
now
the
have this mistrust with yourself. Like, did I really make the right decision? Am I really in the right headspace? Was I really, saying what I wanted to say? We have like this, that's doubt,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say flow through it. Obviously question your, actions before you do them, hopefully.
For sure.
But if it gets to the point where you're just constantly overthinking, it's gonna turn bad.
Yeah. But like when does thinking become overthinking? It's really hard to decipher when it's in your own head.
When
I
you're
think
in
you
bed-
know. It's different for everybody,
There's a
but
click
you know.
when you know
Yeah.
you're overthinking something.
Yeah.
You're
I
just like,
think-
I've been thinking about this for too long. Like
When it crosses the line is when you're up all night. I mean, there's like a defining.
When the
Yeah, you
like,
can't
I would
It's
never
a
do some
topic.
shit like
when
that,
it crosses,
dude.
I feel like to
You've
me it
never had a
crosses the
moment like that?
line when additives start
right.
making
Just get high and
that
you're like, fuck
that
shit.
overthought
That's-
feel
that's you,
true.
though.
So
Yeah.
like there
You've
will
never
be
been up
people who
thinking
will
about
think
something that happened?
I have. But
They'll
not
think,
up till like 3 a.m.
oh my
I
gosh,
think about
this
it for a
person
little
is
bit,
cheating
and
on me,
then I'm
right?
Right.
And because they have like that doubt,
Has
and they're
that
like,
many
okay,
years,
this
but-
person is cheating on me, and then y'all are good.
No, I'm listening.
And then like through, oh my gosh, I don't even know where I was going with that. Well, so through time you're overthinking
Right,
it
right.
because you're like, this is constantly consuming your thoughts. But then every little normal thing that person does, you start to see like hints that you were right. You know what I mean? You start to pick apart everything they do to make it make sense with your theory.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when you kind of spiral down that hole is when you cross the line of overthinking, when you're letting like everything make sense to that theory.
On that whole point, don't you think it's funny how much we think other people are looking at us?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when in that whole process, if that's what's going on in a lot of people's minds, like not a lot of people are actually looking at you.
No one gives
like,
a
You
fuck.
you could walk through an entire parking lot and no one would ever remember seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like not everybody's watching you. Like you're not.
But you're
it's
the
not-
main character of your own show. So
Right.
it only makes sense to
And
think
just
that
from the opposite
everything's
perspective,
about
like, how
you.
often are you paying attention to everyone else around you?
Now we're
Just-
getting
Yeah.
into like self like
Well,
it's like a self-
well, doubt becomes from comparison.
Right, if you
So,
live comparatively.
If you
Yeah.
live
you will
around
doubt.
other people, you will naturally compare yourselves because it's all a freaking rat race to everybody.
Well, that also
So,
it's
I,
a
you wanna be
control.
one up.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that's also where a little bit of self-destruction and doubt come from, is where you think you're the main character of your own show. And so you act like it. You act like everything is about you.
Can I use your restroom?
Yes, right through there.
Thank you very much.
So you think everything's about you.
Right.
But then when you start to realize it's not, and for everybody, it's about themselves,
Mhm.
that's when you start to doubt, like, what does my worth really mean? Or, like, how worthy am I? And stuff like that is because you realize it's not all about you. Even though all you know is your life.
Mhm.
It's scary for people when they realize that it's not. Everyone's living their own life, so they have that self-destruction because they're like, maybe I'm not worthy enough, so that's where that self-destruction and doubt stem from,
It's true.
I think.
And I think.
I feel like that gives
yeah,
me clarity.
gives you
honestly.
clarity.
Yeah. That whole thought, like, everyone's living their life, it's okay, because there's, like, so many things, our neural pathways, it takes over 30 days to, like, change them. When we wake up in the morning, most of us naturally still think the same way we do when we were 11 and we were waking up for elementary school for the first 5 minutes, because that's pretty much ingrained in our brains for, like, 10 years in American society.
Yeah.
No, we're like, fuck this shit, I feel so crappy. But actually you don't. If you get out of bed for like 10 minutes and throw water on your face, no matter how much sleep you got, as long as you got 4 hours, and the night before wasn't extended, you're pretty good. You can literally,
You'll wake up.
we used to sleep in 4-hour increments when we used to like fight all the time, and people would watch the tent, wake up, and then others would go to war and eat. It's like, it's pretty cool.
Mm.
I don't know, I feel like that's a big part of self-destruction. Like, I feel like you either have to be on a period like that, or you have to stay up for long hours.
Imagine getting drafted.
Ooh, that's
war?
another story.
For war, for like Vietnam.
That's
bro.
Talk about
another thing. It's
self-destruction.
Imagine
Yeah,
getting
dude.
drafted, dude.
We were
Fuck
destroying
that.
each other.
You're like,
There's a lot of
God.
doubt everywhere.
What about the self-destruction that the military that happens to your brain in the military, no matter what, though?
For real. That's fucked
no
up.
matter what positive shit you do.
And then they just kick you to the curb.
We'll have to have a willing veteran on sometime.
Yeah,
I've
He
talked
knows
to
one.
plenty, and the only thing they tell me is meth labs. Like they're taking LSD, like they're like taking coke like all the time, like it's like super common.
They're snipers. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
Oh my
That's
god.
funny.
It's crazy.
They just get
lot of
swole and
secrets.
eat nasty ass. They eat like this. From what I've heard, they do to they put like not soy but these other products. Like they calm their testosterone down, but they don't kill it. So like when they get out, like they're like jacked up. They're like fucking. They're weird with people because their tea's so crazy. Yeah.
And they don't tell them?
No, they know. Like they do everything they can to like keep their bodies calm in the army. With the food they feed them.
Those packs that they have, those like dry food
The
packs.
MREs?
Yeah, those are fucked.
They're just really calorically dense meals. Cause like when you're packing and you're like in war and you're traveling for 4 days walking and you have to take this food with you, like you need the most calories in the least amount of space. So it's just like
I do respect everybody that goes out there.
Me as well.
Man, yeah, like I respect every
for sure.
veteran that does it because like it's war, man. Like
For
you're just,
real.
it's crazy, and I couldn't imagine it.
Me either.
I'm a mere civilian.
Yeah, me
Me
too,
too.
bro. I couldn't imagine it either. That would be.
Amen.
Now, if you got called, would you guys go? Or would
Yes,
you be like,
I would.
dip,
I would
dip,
fight
dip,
for
dip?
my country.
Technically, I can't, so I don't have to worry about it. So
You're
we'll
like-
see. Yeah, if they're like you're getting drafted, I'm like not a citizen. They're like, all right, you're getting deported. All right, cool, peace.
For me too.
And then like now I'm not part of a war, of a country that's at war. So
I can go to
I'm
England,
chilling.
but I might as well just go to war at that point instead.
It would really depend to me, just
Well,
like
I'm not sure.
what is it we're actually
I have a
fighting for.
passport, it's not sure.
And if I can't really
Love it,
know what
though.
we're fighting for, then
What
like
about like the Netherlands or something?
I don't know if I would be a part of it. You know, I'd be like, no, okay, fine, sit me in jail, I'll read. You know, I'll just learn shit. Like
You would be fine with it, but there'd be moments where you probably would have to hold your own.
yeah,
There's
I
just like a
would-
different kind
I
of
would,
language in there
because
too.
And like I said, it depends on what they're fighting for. Because if it's a war that no one agrees with, like no one wants anyone
Yeah,
to go.
see, that's different.
But if it's a war that everyone has purpose in, and then you're like, no, not
I was
me,
talking about the jail
that's
thing.
different. But it's just like, yeah, like you never know what war is going to be. I mean, and we used to play it with big guns and shooting each other, and like there's
Now
so
we
many
have
resources
bigger
consumed
guns.
during that time that like they figured out much more incredible ways of creating war, and we just don't know what the next one looks
Well,
like.
there's always
and it
war
might have already
going on.
started. We just haven't seen it. Like, and I'm not trying to be a weird conspiracy theorist or
Dude,
anything.
it's
like,
it's right in front of us.
but
War
it's
is
just
going
like
on.
you have to. However you see this thing, like you can think we're at war. It depends
We-
on what you consume.
we are
like,
at
you can
war in
think
my
we are
mind.
At war.
We've been at war for a long time in my mind. Like with technology and just like the way we live too.
What are you at war?
Technology's
What are you at war
amazing.
with? You know what I mean?
Well, we're all personally at war with things sometimes. It's a
Yeah.
part of life. That's
yes.
personal war. That's a total other aspect. But like we're at war with a goddamn, you could say, virus. It just
Yeah.
shut half our economy down. It made a bunch of other bad things increase.
Yep, that sucks. That's how it goes, though.
But,
That's a
but
war.
you're looking at the negatives. You could. So
Nah,
that's
yeah,
why,
there's
two
no,
sides
that's
to a
why.
story,
That's
man.
why. Well, no,
I'm
but I'm
not
saying
saying
that's
that.
why everyone.
We're
you,
always at war.
Anyone
Yeah.
can view it as we're always at war, but for a lot of people, they think about it as COVID. For a lot of people, COVID was a very good thing. Obviously terrible,
Less
but for some
than-
people, it was very
It had
good,
good and bad for
because
everyone.
number one, the biggest thing is it forced people to sit at home and come to terms with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's things that people who constantly work and are constantly doing something are running from who they are. So when COVID said, all right, everyone actually has to stay home, and they had to confront their subconscious, that was an incredibly fantastic thing for some people.
But the funny thing,
So-
it's like not a lot of those. Sorry to interrupt you, but a lot of those people, like, I don't think they were consciously thinking I'm running from myself.
No,
like that
not
was
at
just
all.
like that was the thing that they were just like
That's their
naturally
habit.
doing because
Yeah. They don't have to think when they're running around.
and in
doing
their mind they
everything.
could have. I know, and at some points I felt this way. It's like I thought I was in pursuit of myself. Like I thought I was in pursuit of self, but like I was wrong. Like no, I was not. Like
Yeah.
I was thinking of so many external things beyond myself, and it's just like, you know, COVID really did force people to sit with themselves and look inward and see that like, oh, and the biggest thing was sitting with your habits, because a lot of us create habits and forget that they're there because they just become our behavior.
I think that is true for people like us because the same thing happened to me, but I think there's a big section of people that didn't happen for.
Yeah, so that's
Not to be a negative Nelly. That's what I'm talking about.
That happened for me. I enjoyed it. Like,
I liked it.
yeah,
'Cause
I liked it. I got like into the gym
Mhm.
and into school. You know, I got a lot of positives.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I got a
From
lot of
sitting with
focusing
yourself,
on
you just-
myself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, so anyone can view it as we're always at war with something, but you can also choose to view it as this is a lesson and a blessing
Yeah.
instead of we're at war.
That's
Think
what
of it
war is, though.
positively.
Not to be a contrarian. That's what war is.
What's what
Because
war
there's
is?
good things that always come out of war.
Well, there's good things that
And
always
if you're
come out of
thinking about
everything.
war in
'Cause
self,
it always benefits.
you're
like,
going at
one
war with you, so there's
group
no
of
other
people.
side. There's a good, there's a bad.
Sure, there's goods that come out of war, but the whole idea of war is not a positive thing.
No.
It's a negative thing. So I'm
'cause-
saying if
yeah.
you choose to
But
look at the positives
COVID
of
is
something,
a war.
no, but
No.
that's what I'm saying. If
What it-
for someone
yeah.
who
ahead.
yourself is your whole life,
Mhm.
what you believe to be true is true to you. So if you are only viewing COVID as a positive thing, which is possible for some
Completely agree
people,
with that.
if you choose to see COVID as a positive thing, then it is positive, and they don't see it as war because war is negative.
I agree with that.
So you can think that, you know, we're in war, and you can have that mindset, but for other people who choose to have a more positive mindset, they're not going to see it as war.
The thing about war is that if you're in war, there's always going to be a perpetrator and there's always going to be a victim. And neither one of those things are what you want to be. You know, you don't want to be a perpetrator and you don't want to be a victim. But every time that war happens, like, those are the two camps. Like, and that's why the war continues, because they'll never not separate.
Yeah.
It's just like, so you have to throw both of those things out. Like, you got to stop being a victim, but you also have to stop perpetrating. Like, and that seems to be a fine balance to walk for a lot of people, as far as I've seen.
You know what's interesting to me, to hop way off topic, or unless you had something to add on to
So
that
war
really
yourself
quickly.
is just with yourself is just a completely different thing. There
Right.
is what I'm saying.
You're perpetrating your own self and you're victimizing yourself. And that's why you're at war with yourself. Because, like, if you're at war with yourself, like, I'm not talking to you specifically, just
Yeah,
like
I get
anybody, like the world, like, if you're at war with yourself, it's because you're perpetrating yourself.
And
And,
you're, and
whatever
calling yourself
definition
the
of
victim.
perpetration you want to give to yourself for that, like, you're perpetrating yourself, and in that you're creating this self-loathing victimhood of, like, you're your own worst enemy.
Okay, I
And,
agree
like-
with that, but like I would say COVID, like on a, I'm not.
You don't want to be that way.
like in an emotional scale, like
yeah.
not on like a personal thing, like what you personally get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're talking stats,
Stats on what? The economy?
yeah, and like
Yeah,
most
that's
of the
pretty bad.
population tanking.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
We're all, if I'm guessing, pretty fortunate.
right.
Yeah.
We have the position to gain from things
Right.
like this.
But some people.
It happened in
some people
2008. A
really
lot of
did,
people
though.
gained mentally too because they went home and they lost their jobs and they rebuilt. And then the business boom hit, real estate, things bounced back in certain ways.
A lot of people gained a lot of money during COVID too.
Yes, exactly. But like, and people came out of their slumps from that.
Yeah.
But that's
for
interesting.
Sure.
That's an interesting thing about numbers, though, because you ever heard the saying like stats don't lie, but statisticians do.
Yep.
You know, and so it's like we don't. You really have to know the sort, because numbers are a language that it's kind of a universal thing. Like, we all know what numbers are, and numbers say something,
The
but it
abuse
depends
rate-
on where the numbers are, why they're there.
That's
Who's
what
paying
school never
them?
teaches
Who's
you.
paying them to make those numbers what they
School
are?
never teaches you that. That's why you gotta look
Because you have
into it
to,
yourself.
you have some
Well, yeah, that's-
numbers. Like, you got to study to get numbers.
Political
That's right.
parties
You
will
gotta look into it
literally
yourself.
pay
That's
to
the only
have
way.
the scientific results that they want.
If you
Like,
want
that's
it,
what
go
they
get
do.
it.
No one is gonna turn down money. Everyone wants money. So if a political party wants to put a lot of money towards making sure a certain scientific evidence is there, they're not going to neglect that money. They're going to do it. They can falsify whatever they want.
Who's to say the government doesn't have people that they pay a salary to just like
make up the
walk
things
around
they
certain
want.
neighborhoods and just count how many types of cars are there,
Yeah.
how many family homes are there, like people that just drive by every day and just start counting. Like
They
who
do.
said the government doesn't pay? Like
Google Maps. Like you can look up
I
anyone's
mean,
home.
I guess they just
They
they
do.
monopolized it to
Satellite
Google Maps.
imagery.
Now Google Maps just drives around with their cars.
They have
a whole
drones probably.
satellite in the
Yeah.
in space.
I can
that
look
just
all
comes
of you
down
up and
the-
find up shit.
I
You
wonder
can
if
look
any of us
up
will get a shit
all my
one.
I
records.
could pay $1 and look up anyone's name and get their phone, address, anything.
I
all
looked up
online.
my dad's record because he passed away and like it was
Mhm.
there was nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just looked it up because I never knew. No one told me, so I was like, I wonder if my dad has a record for anything. It probably expunged because he told me it got roped. But like, yeah, it was $1 just to like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know about that.
But to end my my confusing point with COVID, I think COVID like on a national level, like I think there's great things. I got my mental health together from COVID.
I agree.
I got
Me as
straight
well.
A's 2 semesters. I'm doing really well because of those semesters now. But like on a grand scale, like my mom made a lot less money, so maybe that's why I view it like that. A lot of people made a lot less money, even though you gain mental health out of it, and there's just a big recovery. So I was talking more on like a national scale.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But I agree.
It was a reset.
It's not like a self-war when you're at home, COVID.
Yeah.
If that's what you're trying to
No,
say.
yeah, no.
There
I
was
know,
some
like-
war with self when COVID started. Like,
Oh, first week
I
I,
know,
was
I
like,
fucking
I'm pissed
faced it.
off. I'm from Florida. I like the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the bars
Yeah.
never really closed at Florida. Like we were still going out.
Florida.
I guess I kinda
And
just
they
chose
told us-
Florida, a different breed.
In the midst of COVID, like 2 months after we were supposed to be in lockdown, we were all out like in the
I
bars.
feel
Like,
ya.
no one
I remember
cared.
those videos
I
at the
feel
very
weird that
beginning
it's
of
still
it.
happening.
Those college
Right?
kids on spring break, they're like, we're not gonna
Still
let this ruin our
It is,
spring
yeah.
break, like, cause it started like February,
Texas
like, and
ended
like
a massive
within
pandemic.
3 weeks of it, like the world's
Yeah.
freaking out,
I know.
and these college
Wow.
students were
And
like,
Florida's
we
next.
paid to have a good time.
Florida's
Like,
next.
I was like, oh my god.
Bro, but real
Funny
quick,
videos.
since we're on the COVID topic,
Mm-hmm.
hella people who are. I just want to know, would you guys get the vaccine? Because I know a lot of people right now.
Some people think it's
Wait.
self-destructive.
Well, no,
Not
some
saying
people.
it's
That's what I'm saying.
perfectly
Some
in.
people think it is self-destructive because there have been a lot of people who have actually gotten very, very sick and died after getting the vaccine, and so a lot of people are like, "Why don't I wait?" Because they still don't know what the side effects after 6 months of
Most
taking
of my
A
it.
lot
family
of people
got
have got a lot of people have gotten the vaccine. It's safe. I believe it's safe, but I don't believe COVID is as large of a problem to me as, you know what I'm saying. Like I had COVID like 4 or 5 months ago.
I had it on my
And-
birthday.
And it was whatever, and I was still smoking, dabbing, chilling. It sucked, and I couldn't taste anything for like a whole month, or longer than that, or smell anything. I could take a shot and not know what it is, eat
Same.
or taste anything, and not have someone blow weed in my face, no smell.
How would you explain it? Because when I was trying to explain to
just
people the
ass.
ability to not
It was just ass. I
the ability
hated
to
it.
not taste
just
because
smell
I was
ass
eating
everywhere?
Chipotle
You just
and I
cut
was
off two of
like,
your senses.
this is
And I feel
literally
like things
tangible
still
air.
Don't taste the
Oh,
same.
things that
Yeah,
smell
it's
I feel
literally
like things
tangible
still don't
air.
taste
Smells
the
like ass.
same.
I no for real. I don't.
I don't. Yeah.
So
it's
what-
just,
But yeah, so like I literally described it as tangible air because I was eating the normal Chipotle order I always get, and I was just like,
Tangible air.
can't frickin' taste. I was so pissed off because I love food. Not being
Same.
able to taste was horrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
Horrible.
I hated it too.
You know what I
did
did,
you
though?
Eat anything? What did you eat?
You know what I did actually to make myself get my taste back, because I read you could do this with taste and smell, is I would eat foods that like I would eat regularly so I remember how they taste, so that this way when I'm eating it, like my exact Chipotle order or my exact mod pizza order, whatever,
You can imagine the
I
taste.
can imagine the taste as I'm eating it, and then I literally got my taste back.
That
I
did
got my
not work
taste
for
back.
me.
I got my taste back
At
1
all.
week later, and then
Did you really eat
my
spicy
smell,
shit?
my
Just
do
smell
it.
was like,
Anything.
what was my
Ah,
smell?
wings.
Was like 4 weeks
Yeah,
later,
curries.
Diego?
blazing wings, just
Be
like,
curry.
give me back
Or
the
3
wings.
weeks.
I like curry.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
3. I would say.
Curry's
Yeah,
the shit.
actually.
But my
Curry's
taste came back in like a week, right?
nice.
Yeah, bro. I think my taste came back when I drank pomegranate juice, and I was like, I I can taste, and then my smell still didn't come back for a
sour,
couple
yeah.
weeks
I
after
like
that.
taste orange juice actually. I think like that.
Yeah.
I could taste like some random ass stuff, like barely, kind of.
That was the weird part, was I couldn't taste, but then I'd eat one thing and be like, wait, I can taste this.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, wait, I can't taste. I
Yeah,
can't taste
same.
anything else.
Yeah.
No,
Damn, that's crazy.
that drives me crazy.
Yeah,
Oh
was
yeah, no.
terrible.
There was one point I was cooking pizza and we were downstairs in the basement and Nick and Diego were like, is something burning? And I was like, oh shit, the pizza. I couldn't even smell it
Yeah.
because I had no smell. So I was like, that was the worst for me because my smell took an extra 2 weeks to come back after that.
Oh damn.
It was terrible. Yeah. If the house was on fire, I would have been fucked.
For real. You know what I was about to talk about? What's really crazy to me that I think about is technology. Think about this. Okay, first off, from 1990 to now,
Yeah.
which is 30 years, insane. From 2000 to now, think about how much we've evolved. Incredibly. Like, when did the first iPhone come out? Like 2006? Now look at the iPhone. We have an entire digital camera in our pocket, telecommunicators through text, pictures, and also we upgrade iPhones every single year. When is it going to stop? When is it
Until
gonna
it's a
stop?
Once in your
robot
head,
phone.
man.
It's just a little buddy that walks
Every
next
year,
to you. And you're like,
without fault, we get something
Smart
better
bots.
with the phone.
iBot.
How much better can we get?
When we're the
Dude.
walking iPhone.
I bought an iBot.
You know, Elon is doing that shit where where he puts
The
a chip in your
iPhone
head.
bot?
You know about that?
Yeah,
I
we
would call
know
it an
about
iBot.
that.
I
And then I'd
ride
go to the
with
store and
Elon.
get it.
You gonna get it?
I bought an
I mean,
iBot.
Did you get the brain chip?
I mean, yeah, I would get it. And no, you know what? I
don't know if I would
Hold
get
on,
it.
no
Hey,
wait, no,
bro.
I would. Hold on.
I just need to make
I
a promise.
I wouldn't get it. I would not get
That
it.
just seems
But
disgusting.
if my fucking like arm didn't work or something anymore, and I could put the chip in and my arm would work, I would 100%.
Oh,
get
facts.
it.
Okay, that's fair.
Just
But
seems
I
like-
wouldn't get it if I was
Alright,
healthy.
just-
What a
I just need you to
loser
make us a
world.
promise right now.
That's not
That shit
unpopular
would be
opinion,
chill,
probably.
bro.
Because
A brain chip? What are we getting into?
Hold on.
Because then you could do like a
Come
bunch of crazy ass shit.
Hold
too.
on.
Nick's
bro.
like,
I
you're
gotta
an
ask you a
empire.
question.
Yo, body
Nick's like, I don't
bots,
want
bro.
things
Body
to
bots.
change.
No, I love change. Change is a part of life. That's what I moved
I
here
love
for.
evolution.
And it's going that way, but like,
if you got the brain
come
chip
on.
and you became
I love
powerful,
evolution.
just
I like
promise
that.
me you just help us all out.
You wouldn't become powerful. It would be like you could read text through your eyes. Maybe you could zoom
That'd
in
be
on
dope.
shit.
Yeah, just like do.
Yeah.
Alright, Terminator.
Some crazy
Like-
shit. Take a call or
Yeah.
something in your head.
Yeah.
Elon has a bunch of crazy ass shit that you can do with that. You know, there's a bunch of
Call your
things
car.
that- Yes. What I wouldn't just do it for pure luxury.
Ooh, that'd be fire.
I
Call
would
your
not
car
do it
with
for
your
pure
brain.
luxury though.
That'd be.
How would your car start itself?
What?
Because
what-
I told it
So
to.
you would just
Oh.
do it if you needed it for like you got fucked up
Yeah. If
on a roller
because
coaster.
he was saying that it could
Roller
fix like people who are paralyzed and shit
Yeah.
like that. He was saying
Yeah.
that if I was paralyzed, dude,
Because it's all
100.
mindset. Because it's
Yeah.
all
And
mindset.
they're not gonna take your body over.
that's,
Yeah.
that's cool,
Dude,
but a
and
brain,
just
I don't
think
like
how-
the brain chip idea.
If
That's
it worked
weird.
like
I mean, that's the only
99%
way.
of the time, like that this
I'm
works
sure
with
the
just like
first ones too are
unparalyzed
gonna be
people.
Haven't they already
People
made
would like get paralyzed and you're
things
like,
for bad
I'm gonna hang out like this for a while,
like-
just see what it feels like. You know, it's
I'm
like,
not gonna have
people
no
get so
by
cocky
myself.
and just like, what the fuck?
See, that is
No.
nice evolution. But as long as it doesn't have the as long
It
as they
says that it
create
can
it,
actually send electric shit to your cell to make it work again.
the only thing I worry about is for people's like if this chip is smart enough. What if it
It'll
creates a
take
mind of
over.
its like own? And
'Cause it learns
they
from
don't
the
have a
others.
way
Like
to
an
repair
AI
that.
chip in your brain.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. Like that sounds like
That would be
something an
strange.
idiot would like take
Yeah,
upon.
for
Like,
real. The
do you
first-
wanna enhance your brain?
Dude,
with
there's some
this?
people who believe that's the future.
That's
To
great. Like
integrate-
I want
to
to
just
stay.
integrate
Like
ourselves with
I
AI.
might sound like an old school grandpa, but like I want to stay away from them.
It's probably gonna be like that, and it's gonna be insane.
If you want to do that to your brain, I'm gonna kill myself if they do that.
You'll be like 50, and they'll
Nick
be like,
said, "Nah,
and, they'll-
G,
and it'll be
I'm
like,
out."
You're good. I
crazy
experience. I
shit.
literally probably haven't experienced what I'm supposed to if I have to go out like that. But like, come on.
They'll
That's
be like, you can
that's
transfer
like,
through a
March.
portal.
I just see it like the movies. Like, there's a reason they trick us into like thinking how things can go. They've been talking
what
about
if-
things for decades.
But what if the first person got it and no one knew? Like it was just a secret.
Dude,
and then-
people have it. I
Hold
think
on.
people have all
Think
that.
about it. Think about it. What if the first person got it and then they're like, okay, we need to figure out how to implement this into the rest of humanity so that we can just take the leap forward into the universe and not have to worry about war and shit. That AI, if it was the all intelligent thing, it would just figure out a way to do that.
Okay, I'm
Like-
really happy and like if it's for the good. Like, and I hope it is. I have faith in humanity. I'm not.
But
like,
I think people are clever, and I think people will always just see through the bullshit and just like sometimes there's just people that you wouldn't even expect that just like fucking get something and you're just like, okay, you have an understanding that like I haven't seen before, and like that's interesting. And it's just
Of course.
Like, some people call him crazy. Some
The
people
way I
call
view
him
the brain
crazy.
chip is imagine a show where literally like everyone gets the brain chip.
Okay.
And then it's just like country goes to war, someone like hacks the brain chip because like
Black
technology's
Black
like
Mirror.
advancing, yeah,
Fucking
some shit like
altered
that.
carbon or something.
And then like it's just like cool. Now we have an army of people that will do everything that we tell them to.
For real.
See, that's very creepy, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
And, like-
and it's 100% a possibility because who knows like where technology goes. But like if that was a show, that would make a great
But
show,
then
right?
civilization
Everybody would be
fucked.
literally part of the show.
I think you're onto something.
Civilization
We'd
would
just
be
be
fucked
television
then,
for somebody.
though.
Maybe we're
Because
already
people would be
that.
like, they
We
took
probably
us
are.
We
over.
probably
We
are
can never go
already
back to
that,
being
and
the
they
same.
wiped our brain chips so we can't remember.
I mean, you could
Just a
maybe
giant
that's the
sense
reason for
control.
anxiety. Who knows? But we're getting down a
It's
a
something you
loop.
can definitely get yourself
For
into
real.
an anxious fit about.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, like, the,
Yeah.
the biggest thing to
Don't
get
think about it
anxious
too
about,
much.
the biggest thing to get anxious about is feeling like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, like your life's purpose or something like that. Like you're, nervous.
I think that's
like,
such small things too.
yeah. Well, it's
to
just like
change that.
they stack up, like from being a child to being then an adult, like. You don't know what the hell's going on. You're scared. This is a brand new world. No one taught you shit, and you got to figure out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I
know.
think
What if this
It's
is just
the
how
most
most
fun.
85-year-olds feel?
Probably is, bro. They're probably
Like, for the
stressed
longest
fucking
time,
hell.
like that's just how every 85-year-old feels. Like by the time they get 85, they're like, the world has changed faster than I can imagine. Because we've just been speeding up since like the early 1800s, just revving shit. Like if you look at any graph like of population, of like any sort of emissions or anything like that, it's just like
I think
from
we have to try
Industrial
to-
Revolution. It's just wah. So if you grow to 85 in this fucking world and you look back and you just haven't been keeping up, it's just like world's a scary place. Like I'm just gonna chill.
I feel like when you're 85, you just don't give a fuck, dude. Like,
you don't.
You don't. You don't care what anyone's saying. You're just like, God.
Your
You
pockets
like,
are deeper.
unless,
But there's no more.
I feel like
fucks.
unless you believe in God, because if you don't believe in God, then you're just like, well, here I go. I'm just doing nothing every day. There's nothing. That would just. Yeah, that would be.
there's some
ass.
85
But it makes me
year olds
think
out
of my
there
great
that
grandmother,
kicking
man.
it
She
though.
was just
You're
like
right.
lovely, and she
Maybe.
was just like
You're
a
right.
full believer.
That's why I'm
She
gonna
loved-
stay in the
she
gym.
was a florist.
When you're that age, it's more
She
like
made these flower
stretching and
bouquets. Like I grew up
calisthenics.
around.
Yeah,
like
but
I
if you're
love
in
my
the gym
grandmother.
till
She
you're
was just
like
like
70.
this
Chilling,
very
bro.
creative woman. I keep a little figurine that she gave me when she died in her backpack or in my little camera bag. And it's like these two pandas, like one's fishing and the other's like reading a book because she collected these little trinkets. Like she was such a wholesome human being. And it's just like she had this I think she was smarter, but like she had faith in God, and she lived her entire life that way. And it's like one of the most respected women lived up in Indianapolis, Indiana, like in the city, and was just respected all around by everyone. But the bouquets that she created, like she was a crazily amazing woman. But like sometimes, what the point I was getting at is just like having that sort of like faith and hope and belief in God. Like it can create a beautiful life, and it can create a beautiful human being who creates a beautiful population of people, who creates beautiful ideas. Like I think every path has its own ups and downs, but it's really about just being true to your purpose, I guess.
I feel like going to church is just some guided meditation, but like
For sure.
live.
Live-
But
live-
Just a live guided
And
meditation.
there's potlucks after you get to eat free food.
Yeah,
like,
right. You get to mingle with all your friends.
All you gotta do is bow your head. Like sometimes there's pastors who just preach, who like say a 3-minute prayer. And, like you can just take a short nap, bro. Like you can just wait there. Like if you don't want to listen, you're just like, this is my what is it at the very end? Is savasana? What is it? Not savasana. Vinyasa.
I don't know
When
what
you're
the
at the very end of yoga, when you're just laying on your
I
back
don't
with your
know.
palms up.
I don't know.
I think it's vinyasa. But whenever you're just fucking laying there, like sometimes if it's like you have a yoga instructor that just lets you stay there for like 5 minutes, like you fall asleep a little bit. And it's just like, that was fucking nice. Like it's just a small nap. So I was just thinking like, that's how it is sometimes.
In church.
In church.
Church feels like yoga. All right.
When you grow up in church, man, like church gets boring real quick. Especially when you get out.
I've only been in church twice.
My dad was
and it
a
only because I
Eucharistic
slept
minister.
over one of my friends'
Your dad was a
houses in,
minister too?
school.
Dude, it's
From
so
school?
weird.
My dad's a pastor.
Anyone goes to
Yeah, I
church.
know. I
When you go
remember.
to church,
Yeah, that's
you
where I
know,
have stuff in common.
Yeah, like we've been through that hell like falling asleep in church and like just getting into the gut, like your dad's up on the stage.
But sometimes, dude, I would really
Fucking
try to
hard. You
listen.
gotta go to
Like,
church
I
every
would try to
single
listen to
week?
what's
Yeah,
going on.
I went to church every single week for
how long?
years, like over
Oh,
10
same.
years.
Same. I went to.
I was
went
in
to
church
CCD.
plays when I was like 3,
I
4.
went to Catholic school,
Oh my goodness.
And then we just stopped when I was
In-
13.
kindergarten,
Thank
and
God.
then up
Was
until
that
6th
fast,
grade
or-
for to get my confirmation.
I just never believed in the
Went to Catholic
process.
school.
For real.
Yeah.
I never did. I thought it was weird. Like,
Your
why?
parents didn't give you that choice?
From a baby, I was like, why would I ever confess my deepest, darkest things to this old wrinkly dude? The fuck is wrong with him? Why are we?
In a
Why,
box.
stand in line and be emotional. And they wonder why kids don't like to talk to
Jesus.
Oh, they just make you get in the
Christ.
confession box?
me. Yeah.
No
Oh, yeah, I
way.
had
I
to
don't
do
think
that
they're
too.
allowed to do that anymore though in church.
I had to do
think
that
things
too.
have changed.
Bro,
Ever since those files
did
came
you
out.
get your confirmation though?
Oh yeah.
Oh, 'cause
There's
I got-
pictures,
I was
fucking-
baptized and I got my communion, but I stopped going to church right before my confirmation because we were just like, I don't want to do this.
See,
I was like, I
and
don't
then
want to
you're
do
like,
this.
what if I wasn't baptized? And then they're like, it's alright.
I think the main
Okay.
What?
issue,
So,
So you
then
guys
why
were
do you do
Catholics,
it?
right?
Yeah.
the main issue was there needed to be a lot more salt on the bread.
So
Nick.
you guys were
The
Catholic,
wine
you
and the
said.
bread.
Yeah.
And then Diego, what was
I've
your?
had that.
I've-
I've been to church.
I've
Did
just
you really
like-
have one?
I was baptized
Kinda like
Catholic,
those.
but it was only
Such
because
a difference.
Your
It
grandparents.
was like,
There are a lot of
Uniform.
Catholics in Florida.
No, so I was baptized Catholic just because my grandparents. But it was
Jesus.
I got baptized in Uruguay. Literally, when I was young.
Oh, okay, cool.
So over there it was like super Hispanic. But I got baptized for them, and then my mom never raised me with any like religious preference.
Mhm.
She just kind of let me try to figure shit out, and like it's really nice.
That's a good mom.
I thanked her for it. I was like, thank you so much because like I figured out
That's
a
how
lot.
my mom
Or, like I
was.
learned a lot. But yeah, so she didn't impose anything on me. Neither did my dad. They didn't really
Right.
care like at
Right.
all. So I'm just like I just believe in like the universe basically.
Mhm.
Like we are energy vibrating strings. Like that's kind of science and like spirituality kind of
Yeah.
little mix.
I get. What about yours?
I believe in science only, that's it.
Have you just been growing on that? Like, what in your upbringing? Like, did you ever go to church or anything growing up?
Well, my grandma was Catholic and my mom was like had to go to church, but my mom didn't believe in any of that
Mhm.
and is atheist, and so that's how I came up. And I went to church a couple times with my aunt, and at first I believed in God, and then I was like, nah. And then as I've grown older, I'm like, definitely not. You know, science is the only true form. And the only thing that can have a hypothesis and be tested and be true, you know, and the only thing that you can prove. And people who are like, just because you see, you can't believe that.
I was just gonna say
That's
that.
just some bullshit, dude. And honestly, but it isn't. You know, it isn't some bullshit.
I mean,
But
so
at the
you
same
don't-
time,
so
it
you
is
don't
some
believe-
bullshit. Because there's no spiritual anything
It's-
in this.
So you
world.
don't believe in things
Science
that
is
you
the only
can't.
true
Do you know that
Test
science
and
was created
see.
by theologians?
Huh?
You know that science was created by theologians.
Science is created by people who are
Theologians.
trying to figure something out. It's the
They were- no,
it's
it was-
test
it's-
and test and hard work.
If
to
you
get
look
to
back through the
answer.
text, science was created by people. The original foundation of science was the pursuit systematically to understand the universe to get closer to the idea of God. Like it was
Right.
founded by those people.
Because they didn't understand at that time.
What it would lead
It
to.
was just
They didn't understand.
Or what if
the-
they're still
what
true to their
truly
path? What
happens.
if
Yeah,
what if
you're right,
science
you're right,
is
yeah.
what if science is a way to systematically
Imagine
build
someone create-
yourself a ladder so that you can see so closely the line between like science and philosophy
Imagine
and
a man-made
religion.
person creating the Bible, and all these people are like, I'm going to pray and base my life off of this man-made thing.
Yeah.
And it's really just a hoax, and that's what I truly believe.
Well, in 325 AD, Constantine switched. So there was multiple world religions before the time of Constantine in 325 AD. He was the same. He was the same ruler that burned down the Library of Alexandria, and they did that when they turned Christianity into the world religion. Basically, with their power, they're like, this is the world religion as far as they knew the world. Like, this is what it is.
Mhm.
And so they burned every other text of every other thing.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and we
How
lost a
far
We
lot.
lost so much.
How
knowledge.
far scientifically would we be without religion? So
But
far.
the Dark
So,
Ages
so
wouldn't
many
happen.
scientists
But the Bible
were
was there.
pushed and
Yeah.
pushed into the dark and weren't allowed to release anything. Like,
every old scientist
Right.
couldn't release anything that opposed God and the creation of Earth is God at all. It was banned, and they would get arrested, and it was against the law to release text or books or science books.
So many beautiful forward thinkers throughout history have just been slaughtered because they dared to give an idea. Like, we take for granted how free our speech actually is, that we can say an idea and say something, and we're not just going to get shot in the street for having
For
an
real, like
idea.
in North Korea.
Slowly going away in America, and it's gonna continue.
Nah, I do whatever I want. Nobody can tell me nothing.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm not hating on you.
You know, no, I'm not saying you
I'm
are.
just
I'm
saying.
just saying.
Like
if
everyone.
you have that ideology, it's going to become true. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. It's
I'm
America.
not saying it's gonna come true.
I know what you're
I
saying.
just don't have
though.
control.
Fuck yeah!
What like Corona, not to bring it back to that, is like how many communities were just so outraged and like you can't say this, cancel culture. It's
Yeah, fuck
coming.
that shit.
The law likes it too.
But
They openly enjoy
Who
it.
cares? Nobody can do anything to you. You were your
Right
own.
now- I'm not
you were
saying
your
that.
own
Right
god
now.
in your own
Right
universe, and anybody who's canceling you or anything, unless you live off social media, then that would suck because that's how you get money. But other than that, who gives a fuck? Nobody can tell you shit.
100%.
Who gives a fuck what anybody thinks? You were your
But
own
what
person.
comes from it? How far do you think it will go?
It can't go that far until they can't break the Constitution. You know, that's what Americans are truly about. If some bullshit starts happening, they're like,
Agree.
Constitution, no way. And it'll never break. But there's other countries that want to make America a communist country. That is in the fruit of the theories.
How
I'm really
many?
interested,
And how
I'm really
many
interested
times?
to see where your path leads you, man.
Me too. I'm really invested.
You got an interesting mindset, brother.
Dude, I have this. Oh my god, I have this friend, and he's crazy.
I like that start of a story.
He
You got
like-
this friend, man.
He he can print anything on a 3D printer, any weapon, anything that you could think of, on a 3D printer, and it would have really
Like a
worked.
functional
And
item.
you could go online right now and look up the blueprints for one, and go get your own 3D printer right now and print your own weapon right now. And all you'd have to do is buy the slide off of an online site, and that's a complete.
And what's it made of, like carbon fiber?
Ghost Gun is the name.
Like, what's the material that it's made of that 3D prints?
It's like it's like some metal that the printer can print. It's like I don't even know. I don't know the science behind it.
Ghost Guns, like I've
you
heard
know what
about
I'm
it.
talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. No, they're like mad popular
And
now.
you can
Like,
do
people are-
anything.
Yeah, they're literally printing like their own guns, so it's
Yes.
like there's no number. It's untraceable. You don't know who the hell.
And it's
did
fully
that.
functional.
Yeah,
That
it's
works.
Fully functional. And you could also print like attachments.
I feel like I knew this existed, but I never
like
actually dove into
fully
it.
automatic attachments.
It's something that you're like probably exists, which is basically anything that we can think of right now. Probably exists already, or does exist already in someone's brain, but like basically probably.
I would love to
exists
try
already.
out like a 3D printed like bow.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Like if someone printed out like a
Yeah.
3D printed recurve bow. They just almost
Check
see how
this
it
out.
fucking
This
works.
is a 3D printer.
Maybe the
grenade
string wouldn't be
launcher.
as efficient.
What the fuck?
A 3D printed grenade.
Alright,
launcher.
alright.
This is my home area here. Hold on.
It's a narrate.
Yeah, you just put like the stuff in it.
It's so colorful. God damn it. That's what Fortnite is. They're just training people to shoot 3D guns at each other.
This is a cardboard piece.
Holy shit. Why did they have to play this song?
It is pretty crazy tech.
It's fucking crazy.
This is the getting pretty quiet here because we're just checking out a couple of clips.
What the hell?
Look.
Back now with a new kind of gun flying under the radar across the nation.
They made this video. These are the 3D printed guns right here.
Ghost gun. Guns made by a 3D printer.
Dude, that's nuts.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
Pretty
Oh,
sick.
yeah,
huh?
I got
Like,
it.
dude,
Yeah, bro.
the market's changing crazy. So many people. Now there's no, even if the government took our fucking guns, they can't take our 3D printers.
Across the nation.
That's just. I just think so many
Unless
things
they're
are being
like, we're gonna
invented.
take 3D printers
Yeah,
too.
dude, that's what I'm saying.
Then people would
Evolution,
just
bro.
make as many guns as
So I
possible.
think what
Take all
I
the
think
guns
what
again.
we were not
I imagine
disagreeing
there'd be a
on, but like
couple
slightly
lawsuits.
putting it, it's like
Yeah.
things are coming though. Change is coming, and like
And I'm
there's gonna be
excited for it.
there's
Yes.
going to be crazy things
I'm
like
so
that
happy
are gonna
we
be
live in this
involved
era.
with it, that are gonna be like
When did this start happening? Like how long?
a
has this
long
been
time
going
ago. I mean, 3D printing has been
Yeah.
the
But
rage
but
since
not-
like
on?
I feel like
don't know
20.
about 3D printing.
Not guns though.
No, the guns is pretty freaking.
Is that recent?
Yeah, that's
Like,
pretty.
But
within the
the
last couple
crazy
years
thing
or
is
so?
everything develops. So like the fact that we're talking about brain chips, right? That's gonna develop.
For sure.
Like when our kids are our age, oh my god.
Dude, I know. That's what I'm waiting for.
Some people's brains are gonna fucking explode from brain chips.
I'm so
Having
glad we
babies.
grew
Oh
up.
my God.
I'm so
What's
glad
up?
we grew
They're
up.
just gonna put them in babies
Yeah.
and have the first.
I agree
basically-
with that.
And basically like the
Yeah.
first like subhuman like fucking race or cyberhuman like race.
There
Like,
will
you want your
be.
baby to be smart by the age of 2. You'll be a bad parent if you don't get him this.
Are we gonna go somewhere else? Are we
It's
gonna
for the
transfer?
evolution of the world.
We gonna get off this globe?
I think
Oh, yeah.
I think all these ideas are just
100%.
gonna happen. Like, which ones are gonna happen before the other? It's kind of hard to tell. But like, all of these are possible to happen, and I think we have the capabilities to make them happen. So eventually, we will.
Well,
It's hard to-
think
it's
they
hard to put a
warn-
timestamp on it, but
I think
we
they
will.
warn us with
The-
entertainment though.
The reason
Mostly.
I started off doing aerospace
Entertainment is
engineering
very
and I do space flight
Of the
operations
future,
now
possibly.
is because I
now.
think for me my biggest thing is I want to travel. And
Right.
going
Right
to
now,
space
bro.
going to space would literally be like the greatest form of travel. And so me studying space flight operations,
Right.
I can literally get myself there.
I love space.
I can literally because
Space is
Yeah.
I'm in my 3rd year. I've already done aerospace engineering, so I already know some basic engineering stuff, and I'm doing space flight operations. Like, there's no way if we get there that I'm not going. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's my
Space
biggest
is
thing.
amazing. Imagine it. We're
Bring me back
flying
around.
through space right now at thousands of miles an hour, trajectorying upwards, and we've been doing that for.
Which way's up?
I guess no ways. We're truly up in space, but this is the way that the planets go around the Earth. So
Yeah,
that's
it's a
why I'm
rotation. It's a
saying
rotation.
that. But imagine that. And that's been happening for millions of years. Just millions. We've just been
13.7 billion.
going through space, and it never stops. It's just infinite.
Oh.
That is the craziest
The
thing.
Earth
Well,
is
for now.
4.6 billion years old.
That's the craziest thing to truly think about.
It's literally just this giant yellow ball, and then every planet basically chases.
And
it.
there's other galaxies, thousands
now.
of other galaxies.
Talk about
And there could be
destruction.
way
The sun
other
is
gonna-
galaxies.
the sun is gonna explode, so I wouldn't say infinite.
Let's
It's
just
actually
die.
gonna
Get
implode
over
on
it.
us.
We'll
Well,
go
if you
somewhere
think
else, probably.
mathematically infinite now, like it's got some billions upon billions of years.
Can we talk about how some infinities are greater than others?
You know what? Dive into it. Go
Because
for it. I'm ready.
okay, if you think about it, there's an infinite amount of numbers between 0 and 1, right? There's an infinite amount of numbers.
Yeah.
So if you add,
There's
hold
a-
up, if you
between 0 and 1, there's a finite amount of numbers.
no, there's an infinite amount of numbers. Point
Wait,
zero 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 zero
Wait,
zero
but it's in,
zero
like,
zero
what,
zero
I
zero
guess.
zero
You
zero
said a
zero
cap.
zero
You can
zero
put
zero
it.
zero
I
zero.
guess. Yeah. You're right.
There's an
Okay.
infinite amount of numbers
Yeah.
between 0
Yeah.
and 1. So
What
what
is
if
it,
you
yes?
take that value and add it to itself? Isn't that 2 times infinity?
Why would that mean anything?
Which is greater than 1 infinity?
Well,
Why would that matter at all?
It's just,
it
just
would all
interesting.
it would all come down.
What do you
In the
mean?
end, it would all
If
come down
there's-
to one infinity.
if some infinities are greater than others because we think infinity means the largest amount,
Oh, okay.
but if there's 2 infinities put together, that's technically 2 times infinity, so there is a larger amount than infinity itself.
And you can do that infinitely. Though. So
Yeah.
like, infinity is just infinity. But you're right. You can create bubbles out of it.
Yeah.
However you perceive it.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting because we always think
interesting.
infinity is like
Interesting thought. Like,
the
it's-
longest, biggest possible number, but we can add so many different infinities
Yeah.
but we could do it infinite times. So
Yeah.
infinity is not the largest amount.
I feel like that's a fun thing to do if you're just trying to fall asleep. Like, and you just math
You're
yourself
like, can
out. Like,
infinity-
you start to create this weird math in your head that may not even make sense, but you feel like a scholar, and you're like, and then you're out. Like, it's just like there's no real winning here. Like, you're just gonna go down a rabbit hole until you're out.
You know, I'm a true advocate for anime. That's what my kids are gonna watch. Only. That's it. American cartoons trash.
Suck.
They
They
teach
suck.
you to be like lazy and make fun of people
And like skateboard around and make friends with
and
a plank.
and just do bullshit. And anime is
You
like
should just move to
go.
Japan,
Anime
bro.
is like go to school, do good. If you don't do the best, then you're trash. You know
No,
what
no,
I'm saying? Every single anime is
You
like
do
that.
great.
Anime is like,
You should just move
do
to
That's
your
why
best.
Asian Americans have super high levels of anxiety.
It's like I
yeah,
never
but
go
it's
back
just
on
the
my
good
way.
morals. I love the
I
good
never go
morals.
back
they
on my
preach.
word. That's my ninja way.
Exactly, my ninja way. Everyone needs a ninja way.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's always goals. There's always like friendship is the answer, or
That's
like
why
do
my kids
your
are just
best,
watching
or
anime.
like
Did you guys ever watch Avatar?
Yeah.
no, I hate Avatar.
I watched Avatar a little, but that's not
Who
true.
did you most
anime.
resonate with in Avatar?
I didn't watch it enough like
Aang.
that.
You're definitely you're an A.
Hold on, I gotta
For
sit
sure.
down for 1 second.
I like to dance.
I always felt like
Be
Uncle
free.
Suko. Or what? It wasn't Uncle
Iroh?
Uncle Iroh. Uncle Iroh. Suko was the.
You
Zuko
see
is
yourself
the,
as an old wise man that drinks tea?
Dude, I walk around in sandals and I like to garden and drink tea. Like I've always been that way
this is
for
like
a long
I am
time.
Uncle.
I am.
Iroh.
I'm just a nature man. Like, but like also like I feel like I'm very like a fiery personality too. Like I'm a very fiery person, and it's just at the same time it's just like I like the earth. Earth is nice, but I don't want to burn it down.
Facts.
Facts.
I have natural
Who
self-destructive
do you
tendencies, and I
guys
try not
think-
to self-destruct.
I
There's
am from
beauty in
Avatar.
things as well.
Who do you think I am
Yes.
from Avatar, or who I would resonate with? Because I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Do you know
Mm.
the trio of firebenders?
The women.
Yes. You know the one that does like the flips and stuff?
Mhm.
The really small like perky one?
That or the earthbender ones too. You remember the girls who had the I forgot what the
Zitsuki? Oh, I think the one that literally marries Sokka. That one.
yeah.
Suki.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up now because I've never
I
seen
need to watch
this, and
Avatar
I
again.
need to
I haven't
know.
watched it in a long time, as
Yeah.
you can tell.
Yeah, but keep going.
I don't know. I was thinking just like what character, like if you look through each movie, and because every great
would you be
movie
from
is just
Naruto?
like this.
From
Oh yeah, who would
Naruto?
you be from? Who would you be from?
We should do Naruto next.
Avatar. Who would you be?
Oh, I don't fuck with Avatar that hard.
Same.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I
But
don't know.
who would you
Um,
be? Who do you think you resonate with?
It's
from,
it's
I
super,
didn't watch
it's super
Naruto.
spiritual. It's super
Naruto?
spiritual.
All right. Who do you resonate with from Naruto? Sasuke, you sad boy.
Who do you
Sasuke's chill too. I fuck with Sasuke and Itachi.
I like
Well, what about me?
both Sasuke and Naruto.
Because
Yeah,
I feel like
the
I'm not.
I like
I'm not
Naruto.
Sakura. I'm not a helpless
I feel
bitch.
like
Like
no
I.
one watches
See, you know about Sakura. That's good.
But like, who do you
That's
think I
good.
would resonate with from Naruto? I need to know. 'Cause it's not Sakura. It can't be.
I don't know. I have to think about this.
I've never watched Naruto. I don't know.
It can be a boy as
Anyways.
long as like the
Yeah.
personality
Self-doubt and
is
destruction.
good.
Self-doubt and destruction. Aren't those? Wouldn't both of those be a part of the hero's journey? Self-doubt and destruction, and self-destruction, because
Part of the
Like-
journey. Yeah.
yeah.
They have to come across their own disbeliefs and face their own fears. It's
Right.
very, it's easy to, like, how they always say, like, anyone can be motivated for a day, a week, a month. Like, it takes some, like, determination to be motivated about something for, like, months or, like, years.
Takes
That's-
27 days to build a habit.
Yeah. I think it's, like, 91 days to build a lifestyle.
Nice.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah. It takes about 3 months to build a lifestyle. So if you do something every day for 3 months, you'll probably do it for the rest of your life.
That's what
Really?
I'm doing, bro. With the gym, I'm going.
Yeah, I've been that way with the gym too. Like I
I'm
might fall out
going,
sometimes,
bro.
but I always go back.
Yeah,
because
but
I-
it'll just
I've
be a
not fallen
super
out.
constant part of your life, yeah.
Mm.
I
So
love
much
the
You do
gym.
better.
anything for 3
Life is
months,
so
you can
much
stay pretty motivated
Yeah,
towards
dude,
I
it.
feel like I
Pretty
should start
chill.
consciously applying that to
That
whole
hoodie's
thing.
pretty chill.
Yeah, me
It's just
I'm
like
trying.
it's slick,
Because then,
you know?
then it'll just. So you're saying like after 3 months, it's more of a thing that
That's
like
Matthias.
Very
it
calm.
just becomes a part of your.
It's just like
behavior.
it's part of your daily routine. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta check this. Oh, I gotta make sure it's this.
Oh.
Same thing. Like no one forgets to walk their dog.
Yeah.
Early, very
Well, the dog reminds me
unlikely.
too.
Exactly. But because they do it every day.
Yeah.
Like same thing. I wake up. The first thing I do is I open the door for my dogs. So it's just part of my habit now. So it's just daily stuff. Down the daily way.
Dogs are funny creatures, man. I love dogs. They're just there. They're just always there. Like no matter where you are, you hardly go your life without seeing a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you've never seen a dog, you're just like, oh, what is that?
Well, what is he, a wolf, dude?
I would get
I've met a wolf. A tamed wolf.
No way.
A tamed wolf.
Maybe we should all travel and go see the wolves.
That would be chill.
Am I what?
Would be.
Huh?
You know what I would get? What are those little
Yeah, what?
oh, it's like the flying squirrel things.
What?
Oh,
Sugar
the
gliders.
Sugar gliders.
Oh.
Except they're only awake at night, which is ass.
They're
You
weird,
need to
dude.
get two of
They
them.
they're just like tiny and smell.
you
My
need to
boy
get
has
two
one.
of them, too.
Love you, Ross, but like I wouldn't get one.
You have to have 2 of them because they get
Or you might just have a ferret then.
really depressed if you only have one.
Oh,
Because they
that's
need a
weird.
homie. And
Yeah.
if you don't give them a homie, they'll like be all weird. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all be weird if we didn't have homies?
Yeah.
So,
life would
I
be
don't.
strange.
I go through phases where I don't hang out with people for months.
There's
Yeah,
been-
because you were hanging out with people too much. Like, but what if you never got to hang out with people?
I think I'm always gonna do it though.
I
it's
get in
good.
that phase, but I hang out with the online homies at that time.
Nah,
Yeah,
I do
the game
isolation.
homies.
I do hermit. I go hermit.
I hermit too.
And it wasn't that, and that's not fully true.
Yeah.
There were some people that were always good in my life.
I
They're
just really
still
like
in my life.
hermit-like activities. Like, I like practicing guitar. I like growing terrariums and shit. Like, having aquariums. Like, you don't gotta have anybody for that. You can just
I feel like I have a
vivariums
weird
or
addiction
all
of
them.
just gaining information, just like a lot of information.
That's
all the time.
sick.
I listen to podcasts constantly.
I like doing that
and
too.
then when I can't do it like directly, it's just like that's what I'm usually up to alone.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not the most conscious information, I'm just trying
Just
to lock
shit.
it in. I don't know.
But
I
you learn
feel
to love
you,
being
dude.
alone after a while.
I like it. That's
get used to
what
it.
Corona did for me.
Yeah.
It made me appreciate myself. Like that's what everyone had to do because there was like everything around you sucks. That's like the personal gain.
Mhm.
I just can't wait till like the world gets out of it.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a good amount of self-destruction to recreate yourself.
It's necessary for the world too. Like
Yeah.
the world needs it. Like
I'm not saying intentionally self-destruct yourself.
We have
more
to learn
more
from
so
something.
deconstruct, not destruct.
Yeah.
Keep the pieces that you can see
I
use them
think
later.
it's pretty simple. Like what makes us is just what we go through. Like that's why
Yeah.
that's something we all have in common. Like from one situation to a completely different one. Like whatever you've been through either motivates you or shows how weak you are.
And that's why your perception's unique, like to everybody, because no one can ever see the world through the way you see it. Even if they live it right next to you for the longest time,
Yeah,
like
there's
you're
still
all
one
gonna see
degree
different
off.
shit.
Yeah, my parents told me that when I was little. That was weird.
Like you're gonna see the world differently than we do.
No, they were just like you never know somebody.
Most
And
things
either-
your parents
Yeah.
told you when you were little turned out to be right. At
That's
least
how-
that's how I
Depending
felt
on your
about
parents,
Depends
shout
how
out
old-
to parents.
Yeah.
Depends how old your parents
Yeah.
were when they had you. Because sometimes, like, I couldn't imagine as a 23-year-old giving a 4-year-old advice
Hey
on
man, I don't know.
how to best live life. You know,
It
and,
depends who you are.
I would.
Some people that are like 30 that are ready, and there's some people. I mean, that aren't ready. There's some
It
people.
goes
that
back to how long have you been an adult? Like, because if having a kid is what made you an adult, it's gonna be an interesting time.
for real.
You know, but if you had to be an adult for a
That's
while
true.
before that, then
That's an
you kinda
amazing
have
That's
to
why I don't-
manifestation.
I don't really care when I have kids. Like
Nice.
I'll have my kids when it's the right time.
We had
Like-
this conversation last
we
time.
did.
For real, that would be ass.
It's, all of our conversations are sort of tying together, and it's good. It's good. We can.
What? Yeah, like right now for me, kids would be fucking ass.
Ass, dude.
Like
That would be
Oh.
like
ass.
big ass, fat
Yes,
ass,
bro, that would
juicy,
be ass.
disgusting,
Oh my god.
cellulite.
Jesus.
Sure.
Children are
Oh.
beautiful creature.
That would be
They didn't
ass.
ask for this.
When I used to say that to my friend's dad, he'd be like, "Nah, having a kid, and then you like babysit and you other shit, and you got to do other shit." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not trying to do that."
I mean, guys kind of have it good. They can have kids.
That's
Most
the
people
old
whenever
way.
you want.
We got a lot of new stuff now, like phones and PCs and shit. We're trying to do stuff on our own. We're not trying to.
What do you think it's gonna be
watch
like
a
when they
kid.
make like the sex
You know?
robots?
Well, you
We have
gotta.
too
I
much
think.
shit to
I
do.
think you're still supposed to bring life into the world.
No, for sure. But when I'm like 30 and I'm ready to, do something like
I was
that
thinking, like,
and
40.
focus my time on that, you know,
45.
or like
If they made a humanoid sex robot,
Yes.
would you take it?
100%.
No.
100%.
It doesn't ask any
baby.
questions.
Dude,
Yes.
You can
no.
program whatever personality you
No.
want. Would you do it?
Yep.
It's just like whacking it, man. It's not real. It would do something different to your brain. It's your little dumb.
What if it-
It's your little dumb humanoid freak.
Yeah, but it's
freako
just-
weirdo robot.
but
It
dude.
just says 80% of males will now be living alone in apartments for the rest of their
No,
lives.
you still have.
The robot
I would
would-
not get one if I didn't have a girl. That would just be whack, dude.
women can self-reproduce and men can just get the sex bot and everyone's fucking happy, so.
I think you'd come to miss rejection.
Maybe
Yeah,
you would
fuck
go-
your brain up so
The-
bad.
Yeah,
the
you're
new horny
right.
would be getting rejected. They're
You're
like, tell
right,
me no,
bro.
please.
You'd be like, I just go fuck my robot. I don't need her.
Yeah.
And then you'd be fucked, dude.
That's
And then
Oh,
some
my
people,
God.
some
Trifecta.
people would be like so addicted to it.
Yes.
And then other people would be out in public and be like,
You
I
know,
can't look at it in the
There's
eye.
some-
And then some people
you
would
know,
bring them out in
bro.
public out to dinner.
Oh my God!
You
Yes.
know it.
And then the new community comes out. Robot
So
lives
weird.
matter.
That's so
Pride for
weird.
Robot
robots.
lives.
Pride Robot Day.
Yeah. My robot is real.
Amendment 28. Sex between inanimate objects is not legal.
It's just crazy.
Or
It's coming. It's all
marriage
coming.
between inanimate objects. No, wait, you can already marry inanimate objects. So people can actually get married to their sex bot.
I mean, yeah. I remember one of the weirdest,
Oh God,
weirdest
you know they would.
things that
Yeah,
I ever
no, you
had
definitely
an
would.
experience in Broward Mall in Florida. Which is a weird place to be any time of the day.
Yes.
If you're from there, it's just like you don't want to go
The
there.
Florida malls are like.
So like I'm walking in as like a weird store to get some costume or something, like an addition to a costume. I'm in like high school and my mom's with me. It's like before I have a car, like freshman, sophomore year maybe. There's this guy that's a blow up dog. He's stinky. And he's got glasses on. And he's got like patchy beard. Like he looks like really low T. Like he looks like crazy.
Uh-huh.
And he just looks over and my mom's like, "Oh my God, let's go!" And she was so creeped out by this guy.
Dude, I had that happen to me one time.
So that is the evolution on the way with these metal fucking robots. Cause that guy was either homeless or had a 1-1.
Dude,
telling you.
that's a scary
story
thing.
make any
Girls
sense
can
to me.
just
I'm
get
really
fucked.
Yeah,
honest.
same. I didn't understand.
Oh, it's really high, but
I
do
know,
you
you
understand?
know, I just
I
saw,
understand
like-
exactly what you're talking
Did
about.
he have a
I'm-
robot?
No, he went to the store and he got it was a blow up doll. I didn't say that part.
Oh, I
No,
thought
you did say
I thought
that.
you said
Yes,
he was holding
yeah.
a stinky dog.
They're high. You and are high, and me and him are all right.
You too.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Oh my God. Annalise, so
Makes
if
sense.
it was turned to the
Makes sense,
women's
makes sense.
side, do you
Joint,
think
joint, joint.
women would get male sex robots or
Women
lady
have
sex
a million
robots? Do you
things
think they'd get them
already.
too?
For real, bro. They have
because
machines that are just
women-
dildos.
They
coming
be
in
walking
and
around with
out.
their big old purses.
They
I'm
have
not
a
talking
fucking
all,
anal
just
bead
like
in their
majority
ass
of
with a
women here.
remote.
Because
Yes.
women, I think, this is really funny. Women are very picky about who they fuck. Men are, I'm just saying in general, this isn't all of them, but men are less picky about who they fuck. That's the
Negative.
most respectful way I could put it. And so women, even if these sex robots exist, know that if they wanted dick, they could easily just get it from a real person.
That shit is
So-
made for
See,
men. I
and that's the
agree.
woman's mindset right there. They're like, oh, I know that I can just get a guy to fuck me, and that's why you can't be like that, boys. You gotta have fucking your own set of standards and be like, this is the kind of shit that I want to be having sex with. And it doesn't mean you can't just have sex with a girl. It just means that you have sex with a certain.
Yeah, hold each
You
other
know
to
what
a
I'm
higher
saying?
standard.
And then, I'm just saying, and I'm not saying it's a mind game. I'm not trying to be like a weirdo about it, but it kind of is. Just like that, you know that you can just walk up to a guy on the street and be like, "What's up?" You know, like, let's go have sex.
As a-
And
as
a
a-
lot of guys would just be like, "Alright."
Because a lot less guys will reject sex than women will. Like women are constantly having to reject sex from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like men are just like,
Nope.
it's only a couple times
We
a day
do
do we
reject
make a
sex,
glance
though.
that could possibly turn
Men
into
are-
anything, even in our imagination.
Women are constantly having to reject it because men keep trying.
And there's a
all
small
the
portion
time.
of men that exists where just like first they just have this sort of idealistic set of beauty and they just get chased because there's something genetically with it for sure. Like it's the same with women. Like there's people in this world who are clearly just like super unnaturally so naturally beautiful that you're just like holy shit. And it's why like a lot of them are famous. Like
Yeah, for real.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But just like most people, like going back to just like it doesn't matter if you're you don't even have to look as a woman, like you don't even have to feel like you look that good. Like you're going to get people you're gonna get guys
I mean-
and girls who are interested.
We're just
Like-
more jittery about how we, like, not like jittery, like our bodies have high
The thing
testosterone,
is
like
men-
testosterone. So we want we just like want to fuck more in a different way.
Yeah.
That's like more like less.
And it's
like
not that men aren't
they say we're more
attractive
logical
creatures, like,
creatures, but when it
women
comes
are-
to that, we're like, ooh, I just want to get it out of me sometimes.
Yeah.
Unless you really like a girl, like, and you've developed something with her, it's
Yeah.
different.
Well,
it's
men
like a
and
different
women
energy
see
towards it.
attraction differently. Like, we're much more physical creatures when it comes to attraction, like, naturally.
Yeah,
Like,
just I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. Like the off-rip thoughts that like sometimes you're like, oh shit, fuck that.
I would
vibe.
not just have
Like,
sex with a
fuck that
bunch of
thought.
girls.
Yeah,
bro.
but like they
That'd be a
just.
shirt. Fuck that thought.
But like those off-rip thoughts are how a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that shit is a bad like, you know.
I don't know if I said that.
When I was young, I would have a lot of sex, but you could begin to realize that just keeping one girl and just having sex with that girl only is not only safer but just better. Because like it's a better sex when
So you're a more
truly
monogamous
get
person,
to
too.
when you. It's true sex when you truly get to know somebody. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And it's
I agree
better.
with that.
And like it gets better as time goes on.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But like.
But fresh new
You
experiences.
have to have boundaries
to
with that
men
person.
are
Whether
different.
it's like your girlfriend or
This
your,
one,
like
no.
or your boyfriend or you're just fucking, you still have to have those boundaries.
Oh
'cause,
yeah,
like,
you have to talk about it because you never know what another person's feeling or thinking.
Yeah.
That's why I would never argue with a girl either. Like I've had a girl for a minute, and I would not argue with her. I would talk about things with her. You know what I mean? But it would never turn into like this. You know?
I walk away.
And that's the
or
reason
I
some
send
people don't want
away.
relationships.
I'd just be like, well, we can just talk about what's going on, and here's the situation. All right, and now we both understand.
Yeah.
Some people you can't tame though. Like I've been in situations where I just walk
And you
away.
can't fuck with those people, and that's why you get somebody who is also level-headed like you and understands. Like I went to a school, Centennial, that's here, and before you can go into the school, you have to take a 6-week program on anger management and how to learn to control your feelings and like how to learn to talk with people and all this shit. And unless you get a 90% on every test at the end of every single week on those subjects, you can't get into the school. And and it was amazing, and it taught me all these life skills to be able to sit and mediate with people and truly see from other people's perspectives and understand what they're saying and how to you don't need to argue about things. You can just talk on what's going on and truly get everybody to understand. And if somebody can't do that with you, they're not worth talking to. And they can fuck off, and you know what I'm saying?
They're
Get out
just
of my
being-
crib. That's what I
It's
say.
projecting, usually.
But if you get the opportunity, I think it's important to teach someone how to talk right.
It
You know what I mean?
is,
Like
and
if you see that they need help in learning like not to attack people every time they have a conversation, like
I think
that's
everyone has a friend in their life who like they teach that to.
But then it turns different because
or at least someone taught them in an aspect.
right.
it turns
Everyone's
Some
different.
people are
that.
just naturally more aggressive. Like some people are like that, and you're just like, hey, like, I get that you have a lot of energy, but you have to learn to communicate with me on a level that we're both equals here. You know what I mean?
Usually,
Like,
I feel like every person, even if it's like a short spurt, like boy or girl, a lot of times when they're young, like from the age of 1 to 13, like it can happen when they're like 1 or 2. Like
bro, I got it on
2-year-olds
Wednesday.
do really weird things.
Like
Like my neighbor,
I got
his son
aggressively
spits
mad
at
on
people,
Wednesday.
but he's just a little kid and he doesn't understand how disrespectful.
I'd
it
be
is
like,
yet.
hey, boy.
No, but he does. But like, it's like with any like you can't control everything. So like
Yeah.
any form of disrespect they form, they have to learn it somewhat over time.
Yeah, for real.
And it's like we're always going through those phases.
Mhm.
Like not always, but like at some point we all go through a phase of like that's not a good thing to do socially.
Yeah.
Every person.
That's
Some are
interesting.
so extreme. They span out for so long. Some are very short.
That's interesting. And we all grow up learning different ones, some the same
Mm-hmm.
and some different.
Some are very common.
Yeah, some are very
commonly
common.
told stories.
And people who can't get the common ones are pretty fucked.
And there's always things that happen to people though that they have to watch out that can like control the way they look at things,
Yeah.
and they can't like let that control them.
For real.
I think we all have that.
That's
like
why I
thing
look at
in our
myself
life.
from a third person perspective, so I don't let shit like that happen to me, because I can always just think outside of what's going on.
Huh. That's an interesting skill.
Put yourself
Sure.
in someone
Well,
else's
I-
shoes.
I just put it
the third
outside.
person
I'm like,
yourself.
what's really
I actually
going
do
on
that.
in this
I practice
situation?
doing that all the time.
I think
I
Myself,
love doing
like,
that,
viewing
bro.
myself
I never think of it that way
like,
though.
where I can see myself from somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. And then you truly can analyze the situation without any, I don't know what the word is, like emotions or feelings about what's going on in the situation. You're like, all right, what's the facts?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what's truly going on in this situation, and what are these people truly thinking, and what are their actions led me to believe? It's looking at it from a third person view.
So
Unbiased.
you seem pretty logical. Like
Unbiased.
where
That was it.
does emotion fit in for you? You know what I mean? Like
Wherever it just comes,
yeah.
but I wouldn't let emotion take over my logic in any sense ever. Like if I was in a relationship with a woman and
What do you base your
And
what do you
if
base
I-
your decisions on?
listen, like if I was in a relationship with a woman and I was arguing with her and she was making me like worry about her all the time, leave her immediately. It doesn't matter if I love her.
Yeah, that's me
because
too.
because why would I, in the short life that I have someone like that bringing me down when there's no point in it? It's just wasting your time. When there's a million other things that you could be doing and you think you're gonna be sad, but you're really not. And I'm not just talking about women, that applies to everything. Like your job, you're like, I hate this job and everything's fucking me over. Put in the work, find a new job, boom, you're out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just shit like that, dude. That's
Yeah.
that's looking at it from that perspective as well, without feelings. And feelings come in like when somebody does something or remembers something, you know. And I'm like, I truly cherish, like, thank you for doing that, you know. Or someone puts in, and I truly feel for people. I do, and I truly believe that the world will only evolve by people helping people, and that's my
Right.
fucking biggest drive, is helping another person. That's where my feeling is helping other people.
Right.
But if somebody's bringing me down, I don't fuck with them. And that's all there is to it. Even if it's my own family,
That's a fair boundary.
even if it's my own family or anything, I'm not going to deal with bullshit. And I don't think anybody should, because it's just a waste of time. And these people get in like toxic relationships with their family or with their significant other, and it's just fucking awful. It's like,
Yeah.
and you see these people going through it, and no matter what you tell them, no matter all the facts you tell them, because you're looking at it unbiased, they won't listen. And that's a mental illness, I believe. It's crazy to I know
It's
we've
just
all
kinda
seen
cool.
it happen before, and it's crazy to see that happen. You're like, dude, how can you not see it? And I'm sure we've been in the same situation in some situations, you know.
But
And you gotta grow up and
Everyone
learn.
has this mental illness.
And some
It's like a
people
mental
can't.
illness.
Everybody
Well-
doesn't have it, because you can learn and become smarter. And a
Well,
lot
it's
of
like-
some people don't learn in their
So
in
everyone
these
starts with it,
relationships.
and then they just
Right.
slowly
What mental
get out
illness
of
are you
it.
talking about?
Ego?
It's just like a.
Are you talking about ego?
Like a
No,
metaphorical
no, I
mental
think it's a
illness?
true mental illness about people in toxic
themselves-
relationships that are stuck. I'm sure we could look it up, and it's actually scientifically proven. And people who stay in these relationships otherwise, because it's like fear or anxiety that they won't know what to do.
It's just
or
it's a form of
change.
codependency, is what it is.
Yeah.
So
It
it's,
sounds like ego you're talking about, not listening
It's all tied
to
together.
people because
Like-
you think you're so full of your shit. Like, what are you
That
talking
is
But
another
you gotta
form of it, but sometimes it's
Because that's
not.
why people don't listen if they're not actually mentally ill.
For
That's the
real.
only mental illness I can think of is like thinking you're all like you got it.
But other times I've talked to people
Always.
and
I
they're
think
like,
you can draw the term
no,
illness
they're
just
like,
from
I
human
know.
experience.
We've all talked to people and they're like, I know he's bad for me, or I know she's bad for me, or I know this, I'm gonna do this, and then they don't, you know. So they truly, it's just something in their brain. And fuck that shit. That's where feelings will never lie with me, and I just had to say
Well,
that.
that's where you're letting your feelings overrun your logic. Like
Yeah.
you're right there, yeah.
But I
and
care about my family.
I've definitely been in that place before. I think we've all been in that place at least once or
Right.
twice. Like we're just like, oh, like I'm feeling way too much, and like this is clearly a bad situation.
Dude,
some people,
the best moments I've ever
Yeah.
done is just turn my phone off when I think I want to text
Same.
like someone I think I still like, and then I
Same,
wake up and
bro.
I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty happy I'm alone right now.
Me too. And then you do whatever you want,
Yeah.
and you don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Well, it's
I'm
nice
always
that you
open
don't
to
play
the
people's
right
feelings,
person
so.
coming in though.
Good
I'm
for
not the
you.
kind of person that's like I'm looking for someone. But
Me either.
I'm always about that.
Me
It's
too.
cool.
If you just meet someone and you start vibing with them, you're like, I vibe with you.
Yeah.
Until
I'm not
they start
open
doing
to
some
like
fuck
welcoming friends either, but I'm not.
Same.
But I have like a level where it's like, this has to be my friend. This can't be
Mhm.
my friend.
I'm not really. I don't really. I'll be friends with anybody, bro.
That's
I'll
not
meet
something
somebody
I would
on.
do.
I meet somebody on the side of the street.
Hey, Ricky Bobby, who smoked that crack? You got him? Is he friends enough? You
I-
got him?
well, I wouldn't fuck with that guy, but somebody on the side of the street who's chill.
You
they're
said
like,
anybody though.
Not anybody. Obviously, I wouldn't fuck with people who
He's
do
hopping
whack
the
shit.
van.
Yeah,
bro.
Or like.
High
or-
for days.
You know, also you
Yeah,
are
Snickers
who you
bar,
are
guys, man.
associated with, and
You
I
are
truly,
exactly.
I
He's my
truly
friend.
believe that. But it doesn't mean you have to be associated with them. Truly, you know, I have like
Associate.
I have like 2 friends, but I'll fucking chill with somebody if they're chill,
Yeah.
unless they're
makes sense.
doing some fuck shit.
Like crack.
Like crack or some illegal shit.
crack
I don't
kids.
fuck with that either.
We've got it. All right, we've got a borderline here. This is good.
Yeah, you know, you
There
gotta
we go.
draw the line in the sand. You know, you gotta have some man.
Crack's the one thing now.
That's the one
Jesus.
rule. No, I wouldn't fuck with. I would never do a pill either.
That's the line. Oh no.
I would never do
we're
that.
shrinking down to that.
Never
Even
do
like
a what?
anxiety. I would never do a pill, any sort of pill.
Like a pressed Molly
We've
pill.
talked about a lot of
Well, I would do
self-destruction
Molly,
without,
but I
man.
wouldn't do.
Have you
a-
done Molly?
Of course, but I wouldn't.
I wouldn't do a pill, but I'd roll on balls.
Yeah, of course, and acid and shroom. But I wouldn't like take.
Molly's
a
some
pill.
crackhead shit though. Let's not.
It is.
Let's not
It's-
doubt it.
No, for sure.
You just don't want opiates.
Yeah, or any sort of
Kratom?
any sort of pill.
No horse
Adderall.
tranquilizer.
No, I've done ketamine once, but I
How
would
was
never do
that?
it again.
Ketamine's
It was
weird.
It wasn't even
I've
dope,
heard it's
dude. And people
dissociative.
do it like every day.
No.
I know people who do it like
People in the
every day,
rave
bro.
scene
And
who
they
do
K-hold. You
ketamine
know
go
about
gay
that?
or like they go bi.
You don't know about that?
No.
You
From
take
what
a
I've
bunch
seen.
of ketamine, or you take like 3 points of ketamine, and then you K-hole, and you're stuck and you can't move, and you just like see one thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So I know this
It
guy.
like trips you
So
out
I know
because
this
you can't
guy.
move.
But this guy, this random guy, he K-holed one time, and he was
saw him?
he was laying down in a concert like this.
Yeah, and you can't move or not.
And everybody thought he was fucked up, but no.
Explain how you just explain to them how you
He
do it.
laid
Like-
across
like
the floor.
staring at
Being
the sky
paralyzed isn't being fucked up.
with my buddy William, and we couldn't move, and we just saved like each other going ah.
Yeah, my friend K-hold.
But
in
no,
a hot
I don't
tub.
like it because I
What,
met
in a hot
people.
tub?
I met
Yeah.
people who did it
Where
every day.
are your
And you know what half of
parents?
them had in common? They like their sexuality changed.
And their own problems.
What do you mean, what?
Ketamine made like their like sexual,
Oh, that sucks.
Change with their dick. It's hard to.
and
That's ass, dude.
that it fucks your body up. I know people who have had surgery because of it.
But if you're, but are they cool with it? Like, are they fully cool with like the fact that it switched on?
No.
Oh, okay.
People,
That's
no.
insane.
That's I feel like those kind of illnesses are like life recovering.
Drugs are crazy. I've had a lot of friends pass away to drugs.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know,
It's like the most common thing.
I have
Yeah.
not.
But a lot of it was just
Lucky
meth.
you.
No. I was just like
Jesus.
trying to think. But I was like,
Well, I used to.
What would
I
you
went to
say?
college like in southern Indiana, in like Evansville. Evansville's one of like the largest meth capitals in the United States, and it's like Indiana's got a very large meth population. It's like Indiana, and then like over in Oregon, like meth's everywhere, but Indiana's pretty strong. I've had a lot of friends that just like just get hooked on it, and then like they OD like their second time because of the fentanyl. Because the fentanyl that they've been lacing it with, like it just kills so many people.
For real, that
I've
shit
had a lot
was
of
fucked
friends.
up.
I've had a lot of friends just pass away from other friends, some family members. Like it's been fucked up. Like it's a fucked up thing.
That's how it goes.
It's how it goes, man. Just don't
Nothing
do
truly
it.
matters.
Some people think they can do it and just walk away. They're like, I'm gonna try everything one time, and then I'm just like, no, man.
I'm gonna try everything one time.
There's people like that, bro. I've met people like that. They're
No
like,
way.
I'll try anything once. Like,
Nuh-uh. I'd be like, dude, that's foul.
What?
That's fucking foul, dude.
That's foul.
You can't say some stupid ass shit like
No,
that.
I'm
I'd be
exploring
like, that's some dumb
myself.
shit.
I'm exploring my.
I'd be like, well, fuck you. That's some dumb shit. Imagine someone saying that to you. Nah, try anything once.
You're a solid person. You're just
I'm like,
solid.
well, I got this crocodile in the back.
God.
So I'll try anything once.
Anything
Crocodile.
once.
People do go gator
I'd
hunting.
be like,
No, I got some bass.
Huh?
People go crocodile hunting.
Crocodile.
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 You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Crocodile.
Oh,
Yeah,
like,
the fucking.
That shit that eats
yeah.
your flesh away.
Yeah, the fucking zombie.
Oh,
zombie drug.
no.
I just remember seeing old
Huh?
internet ads. Just
Insane.
weird fucking
So-
tubs.
so
I would never
It's
try
like
anything
Drano.
once.
Yeah, so,
That's
so
crazy.
basically crocodiles. What is it like a powder?
It's like, oh no, it's you shoot it up, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So you basically just fucking shoot it up, and it basically just eats at your flesh.
Oh, it's awful.
Like
Why would you
I don't
want
even
that?
know. Do they do? I don't even know if they trip.
I don't know. It's probably like
I don't even know what
heroin.
the experience
I have no
is. It's just like
idea.
they just
Ah.
they just disappear.
There's a whole
And next thing
documentary
you know,
of
they
it.
wake up somewhere else.
Yeah, don't do crocodile.
But their whole
Yeah.
leg
Anything
will be
once
eaten
but
away,
crocodile.
bro. Like completely carved out and rotted and looking
it's
gross.
Like your body
But
rots
completely there still, just
poison.
no
Injecting
blood,
bunch of
nothing.
And it doesn't go away.
No, or
Dude, no, your body falls off.
You
Like,
die.
your
Still
body
feels
starts
like
like
you're
Yeah, you just die.
decomposing.
See,
after like
right
1
when you
year
think you're
doing it.
weird, then there's like people that are like, yeah, man, we're just gonna be hanging out.
Dude,
People talking on the phone about it. Fucking
For real,
weirdos.
bro.
They
That's
become-
what I'm saying.
They become ghouls.
Yeah, they become ghouls.
That's crazy.
Like crocodile turned
I've
into a
never
ghoul.
heard of
So
that.
drugs are probably the biggest self-destruction throughout the world.
But
Yeah.
also people self-create through certain ones too.
I mean, it's chosen. We choose to do everything.
wanna see
we
what it
put in
looks
our
like?
body.
Just take my phone.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up.
It's
What-
absolutely disgusting.
what do you see, Annalise? What do you
Crocodile.
feel?
Oh.
What do you feel looking at crocodile scars? Oh, no.
Oh my
No.
god, bro.
Yeah, I got a slide.
Alright, man.
It was good
Well,
having.
Probably
It was nice to
Yeah,
have you,
having-
brother. It was nice
I'm down to
have
come back.
you. Give everybody your info again. You have anything to plug or anything? Or are you just gonna stick with
Here's my Instagram
Big
for
T.
anybody who wants it. SPROULTROY. You can follow me there.
Alright.
And I'll
Sounds good,
I'll
man.
see you at the gym, brother.
Alright, I'll see you again soon.
I'll see you at the gym.
Nice meeting you,
See you in
dog.
the
It was nice
sauna.
meeting you as well, brother. This whole setup is sick. It was nice meeting you,
Thank you,
bro.
hot dog.
Nice meeting you.
Drive safely.
Drive, yeah, I was
Of
just
course,
about to
I
say
will.
drive
Of
safe.
Take care of
course.
yourself.
Thank you guys for having me.
No
Of course,
problem,
man. Have a nice night.
Good night.
I'll hit you up.
Yep, see you later,
That was
man.
gross. That was gross. The freaking
Shut the door
crocodile.
over there. Holy shit, those are some weird crocodile scars.
Oh.
Well, alright, guys.
Go look it
Mr.
up.
Tony.
Don't ever do it. Please.
Do you guys have anything else to add? Do you have anything you want to plug recently? What are you feeling? Anything?
Peace, love, happiness, like always.
I was gonna
Alright.
say.
Besos.
be
Yeah, 'cause that's what I
kind.
always say.
I was gonna say
Be kind.
Be kind.
That too.
Nicholas, anything?
Adios.
Adios.
Wow.
Adios. Be kind. Much love.
Yes.
Love is
But
great.
we found a little bit, got a little bit closer to home. I would
You
say.
know, we
Let
did.
us know what you're thinking at this
Yeah.
stage of the podcast, where you think home is, because that'd be kind of cool if like a while from now y'all kind of change perspective a little bit
Yeah.
because of this.
Talk to us. We want to hear what you have to say.
That'd be cool.
This is an interesting thing that we're doing for all of us. Like, I've always wanted to do a podcast. I think each of us have expressed the want for wanting to do a podcast. But now that we're here doing it, it's actually really interesting because going back through these and editing these and posting, it's like I'm learning a lot just by just having these documented conversations. Because I think we forget a lot of what we just naturally hear, and to have the ability to just go back through like, oh, like I said this at this time, or like they said this at this time, and I just missed that point in the moment. Yeah, it's been a great experience, and I hope we just keep doing them, and I hope that our community grows and people ask questions. We can have more guests. A lot of big things to come. I think we can turn this into something pretty cool. So everybody listening, thank you for coming to episode 6 now of Finding Home. Hopefully, over these next few podcasts, we'll have the video rolling so you can see all of our pretty faces and madness and
Watch along.
some dogs and all that stuff. So,
Get
all
to
right,
See the setup.
it's good to be here with you guys. Catch you guys next time.
Besos.
Peace.
I didn't buy them in high school
Oh, boy.
when I did do it because I'd buy cigarettes anyways.
That's what I did, and then I got